Hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of Chud Watch. Wow, we're already on a hype train, and I'm literally just now showing my face. Welcome everyone to the stream. Thank you so much for coming, as always. Hoo boy, do I have a show for you guys today. So, first of all, let me just once again congratulate the Surfs, and Lance in particular, for the amazing job that they did during their charity stream. If for some reason you didn't see or check it out, I was part of it briefly. They raised like $40,000. I don't have the exact figure in front of me, but they raised a little bit over $40,000 for a trans charity. 41,000? Amazing. And the charity, what's basically doing is building a sort of center for if you're like a homeless trans individual, particularly like trans youths, if they get like kicked out of their house or whatever. It's a place for them to go. It's a fantastic thing. Their initial goal was $5,000, and they managed to raise 8 times their initial goal, and that's just amazing. So thank you, Lance, for putting that on and helping out the trans community. That's honestly so amazing. So everyone, if you haven't already, I'm sure you all already have. I can't imagine why you wouldn't be. But make sure you go check out the Surfs TV. Lance is a great guy. And we're going to be talking about that a little bit later in the stream when we get to talking about Jeremy, the quartering. Let me get some of these sub things. Towing24, thank you for continuing your sub. 4-month streak. Chud time. Stag Almighty, another 4-month streak. Evening, everyone. Baja Blast, 4-month streak. Baja Blast is out cleaning your car right now, looking fine in her bathing suit, if I might say so. Big Booty Goth Queer with a 4-month streak. Whoop whoop. We have Jeffrey Petro in 3-month streak. Hype indeed. Tanthier, thank you for your subscription. 2-month streak. Cold Stare, another 4-month streak. Amazing. I gotta get special. I'm trying to figure out what I should do for, like, special. You know, you get the little things next to your name for how long you've been subscribed. I'm going to try and get something that's a little more personal than the default Twitch ones. I'm going to have to figure it out. Nick Snort with 100 bits. Thank you so much. Jouster Zen with 50 bits. Awesome. 12% into the level 3 hype train. Let me find some hats. So we're at level 2 so far. Well, there's 2 for now. Sham Rockstar with 100 bits. Thank you. So how are you all doing on this Monday? I'm very excited to talk about tinfoil, question mark. Today's Monday. We do tinfoil on Tuesdays. Different levels of aluminum foil hats. Oh, you're talking about the badges. Duh. Sorry. I totally forgot what I was just talking about. Tinfoil. Yeah, maybe. I don't know how to... It's going to be limited by basically Baja Blast's Photoshop abilities, because she's the one who ends up having to do it. So, just kind of depends on her ability. Thrash Mio, thank you for your 3-month streak. Domo Ohana-chan, I don't know what that means. Shamrockstar with 100 bits. Obo-wan with a 4-month streak. For the anniversary emotes, maybe different forms of tin aluminum. Yeah, maybe. I'll have to... we'll workshop it and try and figure something out, just because I want it to be more than, you know, the generic ones. What do I think about the Batman trailer? I think it looks good. I think it looks like it'll be a good movie. My favorite Batman villain is Riddler, so I'm very excited that, like, the main villain in this appears to be the Riddler, and, like, a good version of the Riddler. I get what Jim Carrey was trying to do in Batman and Robin, I think is the name of that one. Batman Forever is the one after that. He's basically just channeling 1960s Riddler, and he does a good job of that, but I'm glad we're getting, like, a sinister Riddler. So, I'm very excited for it. What's more interesting to me, though, is the thank you old enough to know more better with 100 bits. Here's hoping stupid work doesn't interrupt. Right. Just quit your job and listen to me full time, honestly. Isn't that a better use of your time? Oh, what was I going to say? What I'm more interested in is... I have my Batman's backwards, so it's Batman Forever and then Batman and Robin. Okay, whatever it is. How did I feel about the Telltale Riddler? I haven't played the Telltale Batman games. I like the Riddler in the Arkham games, though. Turning into like a Saw-type villain who puts people in traps, and if they don't solve the riddles, he kills them. That makes sense as an update of sort of the Riddler. 69% of the level 3 hype train. Nice. What I'm more interested in, though, because I did like the DC... I watched DC Fandom. If you didn't watch it, it was like they're, you know, they were just showcasing all the movies coming out and the TV shows and stuff. First of all, I just got into Harley Quinn, the animated series. It's hilarious. If you haven't seen the new Harley Quinn series, check it out. Moat Serve, thanks for following. You thought Riddler was underutilized in Arkham? I think that was a good case of less is more. You didn't need the Riddler to be the main villain. He's just there doing the puzzles and the bonus collectibles, and I like that. I think that's fine for what he's being used for in that game. This stream was made for adults. True. I do actually have my stream set to mature, so... It's the new Hollywood Cabal. Yeah, the Harley Quinn series is great. If you haven't, check out the 30 seconds left in the hype train. If you haven't seen it, check out the Harley Quinn animated series. The first, like, 2 minutes of the show, I feel like they're just, like, swearing every other word just because they're like, oh, we can swear in this show. It's a show for adults, so we should swear. But, like, after the first 2 minutes, it settles very neatly into its position. 10 seconds with only 2% left in level 3. MMO addicted with 100 bits. Hannah stream and a new black lemon-like in taste cheese I got from my local cheese vendor. Today is a good evening. Eye of Jade, thank you for subscribing. 4-month streak. Kierthan with 100 bits. Cold Stare, thank you for gifting a sub to Freaking Out 99. Yeah, and Crystal Cat, thank you for gifting a sub. DM Trey with 10 bits. Woo! Level 4, 23%. Got that one by a goddamn hair. Anyway, what I was more interested in, I keep almost telling the story and not telling it. What I was more interested in DC Fandom was the, Zack Snyder Justice League Extended Edition trailer, and not because I'm looking forward to it. I don't like the Zack Snyder DC movies at all. I think they're terrible. If you like them, hey, good for you. I'm happy for you that you're getting your cut, whatever. But boy, did that trailer just, like, show me everything wrong with the Zack Snyder DC movies, all in a nutshell. Eye of Jade, thanks for the 200 bits. Like, the trailer is just, like, dour, and it's using this, like, slowed down version of a pop song, and it's, like, self-important and dark, and everything's washed out, and oh, look at the Justice League, it's Batman and Superman and the Flash, but it's depressing and the world is ending. Oh, it's like, we're so important, we're edgy, look at my Christ allegory imagery, I'm Zack Snyder. Oh, it's just, it's the most ridiculous shit ever. It's a movie for adults. That's the thing. I think Zack Snyder thinks that's what a movie for adults looks like, but it's not. That's what a movie looks like when it's trying really hard to act like it's for adults. It's almost like it's embarrassed to be a comic book movie. It's so ridiculous. Random guy 2324 Real says, I think The Boys has handled superheroes in our society a lot better. Oh, I agree. Oh, can you get your bingo sub? Yes, you can, DM Trey. Give me a second. Let me scratch your name off my list.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
I'm totally fine with deconstruction, right? Deconstruction is a really cool thing. Watchmen does it. The Boys does it. There are other shows that do it and comic books that do it. But, like, making your mainline Justice League movie, you know, the movie starring Batman and Superman and blah blah blah, like this dour reconstruction, or deconstruction rather, is ridiculous, and it comes off as hilarious. Cat7, thank you for subscribing with a 3-month streak. And on top of that, even though it borrows, like, imagery from deconstructionist stuff, like Batman vs. Superman, for instance, takes a lot of imagery, or at least some imagery, from The Dark Knight Returns, which is like the quintessential Batman DC deconstructionist graphic novel. It's about old Batman dealing with the fact that he's old, the world has gone to shit, Superman is a lackey for a totalitarian government, and it's like showing that superheroes, if they were real, probably wouldn't be good. But I think, like, Zack Snyder reads The Dark Knight Returns and goes, fuck yeah, this is badass, and he doesn't understand, like, the point at all. He just sees things he thinks are cool and wants to put them in his stuff. He's like, oh, look at Batman and this armor, it's so cool. When really, like, that the entire point of the armor that Batman puts on to fight Superman in that is like, hey, he's become a monster of a person. Like, look at how malformed and unhuman he looks in the suit. But Zack Snyder's like, yeah! I feel the same way about his, 17 seconds left in the hype train. He basically made Superman into an asshole, yeah. I feel the same way about his Watchmen, adaptation. I feel like Zack Snyder reads Watchmen and goes, fuck yeah, the Watchmen are so cool. Dr. Manhattan is so cool. And, like, he's like, Rorschach, yeah! And, like, he completely misses the entirety of the point of Watchmen, which is, these people are awful. You know? It's just... it's so bizarre. Slow Dog 52 with 100 bits. You have to construct something before you deconstruct it. Right, yeah. And I don't think he gets that. I think he just likes deconstructionist imagery without understanding any of the underlying themes that make that imagery iconic. He just thinks it's cool. Yes, all style, no substance. I agree. Like, he's a visual director. I'll give you that. He's made plenty of movies that I'll look at, like, screenshots of and be like, wow, this is a great looking, like, composition. But the movies themselves suck. He just sucks so bad, you know? So, it is what it is. Martha! Save Martha! But hey, again, if you like the Zack Snyder DC movies, I'm happy for you. I'm glad you're getting the cut of the movie you want. I hope it's everything you ever wanted and more. Personally, Jake and I and Alex, we've already discussed this. We're gonna get high off our asses and watch it and just make fun of it. So, so, you know. I'm curious where they go from there. Like, let's say the movie releases, right? And it's better than the theatrical release of Justice League, which isn't saying a lot, because the Justice League we've already seen is bad, right? Not Batman versus Superman bad, but it's just boring, and I don't care, and I don't care about Steppenwolf, and I don't care about these versions of, you know, Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman, whatever. What do they do if the Zack Snyder cut's better? Do they retroactively make that one canon instead of the one that released in theaters? You know what I mean? Like, what are they gonna do? Will the Zack Snyder cut include more of Aquaman's pecs and abs? You care about this version of Wonder Woman? Her movie was great. That's the thing I don't get. Like, hey, I like the Wonder Woman movie. It's one of the few good DCEU movies. That and Shazam are the only good DCEU movies. I like the Joker, but it's not in the universe. It's like an Elseworld story. So, But I don't get, like, the idea that Wonder Woman is this, like, amazing movie. I still don't think it's that good. It's okay. It's fine. It's better than the worst Marvel movies. Like, I'd watch Wonder Woman over Thor: The Dark World. I'd watch it over Ant-Man and the Wasp. And that's about it. Once was enough for me for the Wonder Woman movie. I don't know. Joker is so alt-righty, though. See, I don't know about that. I feel like that's almost like saying Taxi Driver is like, you know, pro what that is, right? I don't get the sense that in Joker you're supposed to be rooting for Joker. It's a character study of a deeply troubled, messed up individual and how society, when it, like, doesn't care for the mentally ill and doesn't care for those less fortunate, it can create awful, awful people. Right? I don't get the sense that the Joker is trying to make you think the Joker's a good guy. Alt-righties don't get that, though. I mean, I guess, but, like, I'm not gonna start tailoring movies just so alt-right people don't, because they don't get the point, you know? Ant-Man is good. Hey, I'm not saying Ant-Man isn't entertaining. I'm just saying if someone was like, hey, I got 2 movies. We're on a desert island. What do you want to watch first? I got Wonder Woman and I got Ant-Man and the Wasp. I'm going to go, oh, okay, let's watch Wonder Woman. Should Fight Club be banned because of MRA assholes? Yeah, that's my point, too. Like, a lot of people misinterpret Fight Club. It doesn't mean Fight Club isn't a good movie or that it's a bad movie because people don't get that it's making fun of that stuff, right? I think I owe you guys another hat. Birds of Prey was fun. Oh yeah, I always forget about Birds of Prey. That one's okay. Birds of Prey is an alright movie. It suffered from being connected to Suicide Squad. I think the Suicide Squad that James Gunn is directing looks fun. And Peter Capaldi's gonna be in it. And I love any Doctor Who actor being in anything that isn't Doctor Who. So. The same guys who don't get The Matrix also don't get the Joker. Shocked, yeah.
Funny about the tools of
RL16777-216. Why watch bad movies when I can just watch you discuss them? Good point. I guess if you just wait until I see the Zack Snyder cut of the Justice League, which is 4 hours long, by the way. And then I'll tell you how bad it is. Oh, boy. Yeah. Who shoots 4 hours worth of movie? Like, what? Why did he shoot that much movie? He overwrote the movie, clearly, if he has 4 hours worth of usable footage. We're gonna see Superman go to the toilet. Oh, and they're doing black suit Superman, and he's gonna be evil Superman for a while, it looks like. And then, oh god, it's just gonna be so bad. Look up Apocalypse Now, yeah. I've tried to watch Apocalypse Now. I tried to watch the extended cut. I didn't do it. I'll do it someday, but... The Harley Quinn show is anti-Semitic and Birds of Prey isn't, so there's... Wait, when was the Harley Quinn show anti-Semitic? In what way? They should release the completely unfinished work print and with no special effects or anything.
There's nothing funny about
Woohoo Lulu, thank you for gifting 2 gift subs. Appreciate that. Neo-Confederate propaganda. This is gonna be something to explain. Oh god, okay. Let me switch to this camera so we can get ready to... There's a Jewish cyborg character who's an anti-Semitic caricature. Oh, the landlord. The landlord? Is that what you're talking about? The landlord who has the robo-arm? I guess I never thought about it. I guess I just took him to be sort of like Brooklyn-esque accent because he's from the city. The Penguin's Nephew episode where a lot of Jewish stereotypes proliferate. There was sort of the doting mother, if I remember in that episode. But I don't remember other ones. But I believe you. Sure. Anyway, let's get to the content, shall we? I guess that's we're already. So thank you everyone for coming to Chud Watch. Let's go over the quartering first. So as I discussed at the beginning of the stream, Lance over at the Surfs TV, go check them out if you haven't already, did an amazing fundraiser in which they raised something like $41,000 for charity, for a trans charity. And Jeremy, the quartering himself, said he was gonna match it up to like $5,000, and if they reached their goal, which they reached in like the first hour and a half or something like that, then he was going to come on and debate Lance on the Surfs, and I'm sure that would have been glorious. If for those of you who don't know, by the way, the quartering has a history of agreeing to debates and then backing out, and he always comes up with some stupid excuse. It's always like, oh, they were making fun of me, oh, they were being rude, oh, blah, 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 which is always hilarious coming from the quartering, when Jeremy is, like, the biggest dick on the internet, and his entire career is basically built off of, like, picking on other people, and being like, oh, look at this streamer I don't like, oh, look at this actress I don't like. Let me make 60 videos about Brie Larson and tell you why I don't find her attractive, even though I'm obsessed with her. And his entire career is that kind of thing. But of course, his only card is to play the victim when he doesn't know what to do. So we're going to go over some of his tweets, my tweets, and his tweets, and the discussion him and I had on Twitter. If you didn't see it, it was quite heated, let's say. Did I see Jeremy actually donated $5,000 to the charity? That's awesome. I'm glad he did. I'm very glad he did. He kept his word, at least 50% of his word. He's still saying he's not going to debate. Anyway, you thought he quit Twitter? That lasted like 2 days. I'm not even kidding. I tweeted him about that too, and he's like, well, shut up. I'm going to do what I want. And it's like, okay, Jeremy, that's not what I'm saying, though. I'm not saying you can't be on Twitter. I'm saying it's hypocritical of you to, like, make a whole video about, like, oh, Twitter's awful, woe is me, I'm gonna leave, and then come back 2 days later. It's very silly. Anyway. So, the quartering tweets this yesterday. I had scheduled a debate with a harsh critic of mine. In good faith, I agreed to speak to them for charity's sake. This week, they have taken to a charity live stream and raised money spreading absurd lies about me and showing anything but good faith. I should have known. No lies were told about him during the debate. Did I say thank you already to Obo1 for 500 bits? Bits for no reason? If not, thank you. And thank you, AskCompu, for a bit. I'll be hypocritical if I want. So anyway. So no lies were told about Jeremy during the stream. When Jeremy says there were lies told about him, he means lies in the same way Trump means lies. And by lies, he means things I don't like that are true, but people are saying about me. GrayFox2343, thanks for continuing your sub. 4-month streak. 4 months. Woo! Gaining a lot of traction, Hannah. Proud of you, and congratulations. Oh, thank you. So, basically on the stream, there were a couple times that people made fun of Jeremy's stream in which he got, and we talked about this last Chud Watch. We showed a video where he had a stream recently where he got blackout drunk, which is against Twitter TOS against Twitch TOS. I don't even know how he got away with that one. I think he deleted the stream, but you can still find parts of it on YouTube. If you type in on YouTube, like, the quartering Malding, which is like a portmanteau of balding and mad, so M and then Alding. It's really, really awful and sad.
There's nothing funny about
Obo1, thank you for gifting a sub. I appreciate that. Or gifting 2 subs. Thank you. So it's a really sad thing, and I made a stream about it, and I even was like in the stream, I was like, hey, let's be understanding to Jeremy, because he's clearly going through Drinking is not against TUS. Drinking to excess is. If you're, like, drunk and trashed and you're still drinking on stream, that is against TUS. And Jeremy was so drunk he couldn't even get out of his chair at the end of the stream. I'm not even kidding. You can see he, like, just trying to get up and he keeps falling back down into it. It's awful. It's awful to watch. I don't recommend it, especially if you've known someone or are someone who's had substance abuse issues. It hits real close to home. Guilty. Anyway, so Jeremy's mad that people were talking about the fact that he got drunk on stream. And he's calling it lies. Which maybe to him they feel like lies because he did get blackout drunk. So it's entirely possible that to him it seems like lies, even though it's not. Do I not? I thought I followed the quartering. That's weird. Anyway, followed. The quartering. I'll keep my word about donating money, but this will be the last time I agree to speak with these people in good faith. I've maintained radio silence, not engaged or fired shots at them, but they simply couldn't be bothered to extend the same courtesy. Moving forward, smiley face. It's pretty hilarious how these folks consider themselves so full of virtue. I wonder what their charity would think about how their platform of raising money to help trans people was at least partly funded by harassing and bullying others. Hypocrites, as usual. Jeremy does this thing, by the way, where he'll claim he doesn't send his followers to do things, but he thinks he's being clever, but he's not. He'll be like, it sure would be a shame if someone went to this charity and told them this money was, you know what I mean? He's doing that's a nice horse you got there. It sure would be a shame if something were to happen to it. He's doing that. Huge congrats to them for raising 40K, though. And then, yes, he did donate 5,000. So, hey, good on you, Jeremy, for raising the 5,000. Anyway, so I respond, being pretty petty. I'm not going to lie. This was petty. But I was mad. I was mad at Jeremy because I'm so over him in general. I go, Jeremy chickened out of a debate. Jeremy chickened out of debating the serfs, despite saying he would. Guess he'd rather get drunk, stream, and pee in his basement. Again, during that stream, he peed on his basement floor. So then Jeremy, tweeted back at me. I can't read them now, for the record, because he's deleted them. And he accuses me of harassing him. Again, this is hilarious. Considering, am I really over him? I'm over him in the sense that I am sick of him. I'm not over him in the sense that I'm going to stop covering him. Because much like Jeremy, I am obsessed. Jeremy's obsessed with Brie Larson. I'm obsessed with Jeremy. And then I imagine this, Russian nesting doll goes further. Someone in the audience is obsessed with me. So, anyway, Jeremy starts deleting his tweets. At some point, because I prove him wrong. On multiple occasions. Here's my longer tweet to him. He's, again, accusing people of harassing him, and then I say, it's okay when it's anyone but me. Jeremy, dude, I know you're going through a hard time or something, but you make it so hard to feel sorry for you. I hope you get help for whatever is going on in your life, but nothing will get better until you recognize how shit you treat others. I admit, I'm being rude as fuck to you, but don't act like you are some innocent guy who's never hurt anyone. Your whole persona online is being an a-hole and bullying people. Of course people are going to get mad at you and do the same. Why should anyone have sympathy for you when you don't show any to anyone else?
About the tools of capitalism.
Thank you to Daddy Sume with 10 bits. That's me, Hannah. Ooh. There we go. Now someone's probably obsessed with Daddy Sume. And it all just goes down and down. It's turtles all the way down. Hannah's in a parasocial love triangle, and I think we're part of it tangentially. True. Anyway, so he continues and says, Hannah, I've repeatedly asked you to stop harassing me. You continue to do so. Again, hilarious. So I do irony level 2000 gif. And then he says the same thing. I say the concerned trolling is noted.
Funny about the tools of capitalism.
Some people respond to me. Thank you to MMO Addicted for 100 bits. I could be obsessed with Daddy Sume then. Who's going to be obsessed with me? Let's start a bit game. Jesus. We continue on. Jeremy then claims that he was not kicked out of the Magic the Gathering community for harassing someone. He was, which is why he deleted this tweet, because I then further down prove with receipts that he is wrong, which is such a weird lie, right? Everyone in the Magic the Gathering community, from what I've seen, people reached out to me. I don't play Magic the Gathering, I'm a Dungeons & Dragons person, which is also Wizards of the Coast, but it's a different game with different communities nonetheless, although I'm sure there's crossover. So, thank you to Avert Your Eyes for following. So, a bunch of people from the Magic the Gathering community came to me in these tweets and was like, I can't even believe he's lying about this. Everyone in the Magic the Gathering community knows he was banned for harassing someone. So he tries to lie about it. He posts an initial email, at least a snippet of an email, from Wizards of the Coast, the people who make Magic the Gathering. Thank you, Daddy Sume, for 10 bits. Magic the Gathering nerd represent. So he has an email, whatever, that just says, like, you have been banned from Magic the Gathering tournaments and stuff for these reasons. Interestingly, he claims it's for, like, Pepe memes and stuff. He's just outright lying. And then, of course, in the screenshot, one of the things that it says he's being banned for is this deleted video. This video in which he's harassing someone. He doesn't bring attention to that at all, though. So then I link to an article that talks about him being banned for harassing a cosplayer. And he says, like, I showed you a literal email from Wizards of the Coast. Are you serious? The email says, Jeremy, we have banned you for your activities on your social media. Apparently, he doesn't know YouTube is social media, despite the fact that he has worked on it for years. I post another article that says that, hey, yeah, he was banned for harassing someone. And he says, you lose, Hannah. Stop lying. I posted facts. You posted editorials. And I say, it literally says your social media accounts, of which your YouTube is one. Do you think your ban had zero to do with you harassing a cosplayer out of the community with your YouTube videos? And then showed what was reported. You lose! Sorry, I am not as evil as you had hoped. Have a great life. Anyway, later down the thread, I then post, apparently he forgot that he posted this email on his own YouTube channel, in which it's from, you know, Wizards of the Coast, and it says, the reports allege that you have violated point 3 of the Wizards of the Coast Code of Conduct. It reads, do not harass, bully, threaten, harm, or cause discomfort to other persons, including any members. So, this is the receipt showing that he was, in fact, banned for harassing someone. Thank you, Jeremy, by the way, for posting this whenever you posted this. Someone shared this with me, and of course, once I posted this receipt, which outright showed that he was lying to my face, he started deleting his tweets. Which is hilarious to me, that half of his criticism of, like, the serfs is, oh, they're not arguing in good faith. And he's literally lying knowingly to my face and hundreds of other people online. And he thinks he can get away with it. It's not only effed up, it's stupid. It's the internet, Jeremy. Everything on the internet is forever. Deal with it. Hylian Derp, thank you for subscribing. 4-month streak. Hylian Derp says, oh man, watching this happen last night was a wild ride. Also, 4 months and counting. You're awesome, Hannah. Thank you. Thank you for sticking with me for 4 months. I'm glad you're enjoying the streams. Winter O'Hare with 50 bits. I almost feel bad for him. It seems like it is going through a shit, or seems like he's going through a shit time, but then he comes off and acts like a massive D-bag, and it almost makes me happy his life might be sucking. I'm not happy his life is not going well right now. Far from it. I am sympathetic, but, like, he just makes it so hard. He's so rude and mean to everyone, and then he outright lies. And it's like, Jeremy, I want you to get help. I do, but why are you like this? Ask Compu, hey, what do you think of the thing I made? Let me click on this. Oh, it's like a Kerbal space program thing? Is there a video? Anyway, let me see. Looks like some sort of truck with modules. I'm not good with the Kerbal space program. I could barely get things into orbit, so I have no idea what I'm looking at here. a mod aircraft called the Roving Base, built with 134 of the finest parts. Its root part is Mk2 fuselage. It looks very cool, even though I don't understand it. Thank you to Daddy Sume with a bit. Schadenfreude at its best. I wouldn't even say it's that. I don't feel happy that Jeremy's bad things are happening to him. Not at all. Like, I just wish he would stop behaving like this, you know? So anyway, I post even more articles showing that he was banned for that reason. Oh, and this is from the article, by the way. One of the articles about how he got banned. Continuing to dismiss his actions as memes and claiming that he never signed the code of conduct, Hambly tried to turn the tables on Sprankle by claiming that her actions constitute harassment. Literally the thing Jeremy was doing to me. Jeremy has one tool in his toolbox when he gets called out, and it's to play the victim, and I don't think it's ever worked for him. So I don't know why he tries, you know? So I post another article on the specifics as to why he got banned. In case you're wondering, let's go over it real quick. With Jeremy Hambly in the news because of his assault at the hands of Matt Loader before the start of Gen Con, I thought it would be a good idea to check out why Wizards of the Coast, the maker of Magic the Gathering, banned him for life. I'm glad I did. When Wizards of the Coast banned him on December 7th, 2017, I criticized the ban. I have since learned I was wrong. Hambly deserved the ban. I knew the ban was for harassing and bullying cosplayer Christine Sprankle, but I did not know the details. At the time, I thought the claims of harassment and bullying were exaggerated and overblown. I now know they were not. I never saw the video in which Hambly harassed Sprankle because YouTube removed it. He posted the video on the 5th of June, 2017, and entitled it, quote, "Playset of Beta White Knights Prevent the RAPE of Magic the Gathering Cosplayer at C. Sprankle Run." If you think the word RAPE, along with a woman's Twitter handle, is a bad idea for a video title, you are correct. Even though YouTube removed the video, an archived copy is available. We're not going to watch it because this is going to go on YouTube, and it's been banned from YouTube, so not going to go there. Here's a link, though. I guess I'll link you to the video in case you'd like to check it out for yourself. Does this link still work? I'm hoping it does, and then I can link you guys so you have a source. Taking a long time to load, though. You know what? Oh, there we go. Cool.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
It's a Wayback Machine thing, so here you go. If you want to check that out for yourself, check it out. Cleanse. Yeah, I'll pull up a cleanse for after this. Link in the chat if you want to, you know, see that for yourself. The video was a lot worse than I expected, what Jeremy Hambly said about Christine Sprankle. In the video, Hambly refers to Sprankle as a, quote, serial virtue signaler and crying for Patreon dollars professional cosplayer. This was in response to Sprankle complaining publicly on Twitter about a man who posted a message on her Facebook page stating her cosplays give him an erection. Hambly stated he would react favorably if he received a similar comment from a man. Hambly then proceeded to run down the list of comments made in response to Sprankle's tweet, calling everyone who supported her a cuck and or white knight. He called one man a shitty father. Hambly also accused everyone of supporting Sprankle on Twitter of wanting to penetrate her. Hambly said cosplay is lingerie. He then proceeded to go over photos of Sprankle cosplaying, making lewd sexual comments on each photo. He told his viewers to go to her Twitter account and let her know how unattractive and unsexual she looks. Ask Compu, thank you for the bit. The archive YouTube video does not work. Okay. I'm sure we can look for a link in a little bit. Hambly also had major issues with Sprankle having a Patreon account. Hambly called these people, quote, effing losers. I found this strange considering he too has a Patreon account. Why did he criticize Sprankle for doing the same thing he did? Because Hambly suffers from weapons-grade hypocrisy. Sprankle posted the following on Twitter. It has been a rough year, and I've blocked and not said anything about him because I wanted to die, but without a doubt, Magic the Gathering headquarters Unsleeved Media has made my life hell this whole year with his unnecessary videos, tweets about me and other members of Magic. Sprankle has since deleted all of her tweets. Watching the video Hambly made about Sprankle left me feeling embarrassed. I originally supported him after Wizards of the Coast gave him a lifetime ban. After watching the video removed from YouTube, I think Wizards of the Coast did the right thing. Hambly is a dishonest, toxic person. He was purposely spreading false information about the ban as soon as it happened. Again, because Jeremy's a serial liar. Hambly said he never harassed Sprankle. That is not true. Wizards of the Coast said actions taken in his social media accounts were in violation of Wizards of the Coast's code of conduct. YouTube is part of social media. Hambly claimed in the above video he never agreed to Wizard of the Coast's code of conduct. That is not true. He had a Magic Online account. He had to check a box agreeing to adhere to the Wizards of the Coast code of conduct when he first created his account, and then again, and every time the game was updated. Thank you, Winter O'Hare, for 50 bits. So he led people to openly harass and sexually harass this cosplayer and pretends like it never happened? How gross. Yeah, he's a psycho. Hambly said he never harassed Sprankle, nor did he direct others to harass her. That is not true. He told his viewers to go to Sprankle's Twitter account and let her know how unattractive and unsexual she looked. Anyone who watched the original video YouTube removed knows Hambly's statements are false. Hambly harassed Sprankle. He directed his fans to harass Sprankle. Hambly benefited greatly from YouTube removing his original video because it is now difficult to find and watch. He is able to lie and mislead people about the video's content. If I was in charge of Wizards of the Coast, I would not want him anywhere near my events. I would not want Hambly to have anything to do with my game made for ages 13 and up. Yeah. Uneven Pizza, thank you for following. Welcome to the stream. Now let's see if we can find that video. The quartering removed video mirror. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Let's see if we can find. Uploaded a video to my YouTube. No. The quartering harassment video. You love the hat? Thank you. I put on hats when I do hype trains. There's a know your meme. This is what real harassment looks like. Uh-huh, Jeremy. Come on, we gotta find it somewhere. Please tell me Chad is effing with me. Jeremy isn't actually married. He is. Woohoo Lulu. Thank you for the 200 bits. He is married. Gosh, it is very difficult to find the video. If anyone in chat can find the mirrored video in which Jeremy harasses her, let me know and we will post it. Let me see if there's any. No. Because it's difficult to find, and I want to get on with covering, you know, the more recent stuff. Anyway, so I post these articles. Is there anything else that happened? Oh, and then I tweet, uh-oh, someone forgot they posted the part about harassment on YouTube. And, of course, there's the receipts from that, which, of course, showed he was lying. He deleted his tweets. Of course, remember, he says, "You lose, Hannah. Stop lying. I posted facts." And then here, I proved that he was in fact lying and I was telling the truth the entire time. Remember, people,
There's nothing
People like
funny
this
about
will
the
lie
tools
to
of
your
capitalism.
face and tell you you're the one who's lying. That's gaslighting. These kind of people do not care about the truth. They don't care about what's actually happening or being honest. They care about winning, even if it means lying to your face. Never assume that someone wouldn't lie about something just because it's an obvious, blatant lie. People will lie to your face and then claim you're the one who's lying. Ask Compu says it's not harassment if I delete the proof. Thinking there wasn't really much else. I said he's so mad, and that's another tweet he deleted where he's just like freaking out. Oh yeah, there was this where he said, I guess I shouldn't spoil the upcoming article tomorrow on the Daily Stormer about Magic the Gathering. Shh, I don't want all the roaches to private their accounts. And then if you don't know, the Daily Stormer is an American far-right neo-Nazi white supremacist and Holocaust denial commentary message board. A website that advocates for genocide and of Jewish people. Considers itself part of the alt-right. Jeremy didn't actually publish an article there, but he's joking about it, at minimum. And bear in mind, he also made jokes about publishing an article to Breitbart. And then what do you know? He actually did publish an article to Breitbart. You know, the news media thing that was run by Steve Bannon. Oh, Jeremy. Oh, yeah, and then this is just weird. This person's like, you act like it's the end of the world or something. Who gives an F? It was a drain pipe. At least it wasn't a fridge full of food. So he's like saying, at least he didn't pee in a fridge is a weird defense, but okay. I think that's the last interaction I had with Jeremy directly that night. Mostly because, you know, I proved him wrong in front of a bunch of people, and I think he was embarrassed. So, I mean, that's it. You know, I don't know what else to say about Jeremy and his recent actions. He's legit insane. He's legit a crazy person. He did also defend Hitler on Twitter. Jeremy said something to the effect of, let me find it. I should put the corner. The quartering Hitler tweet.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
So someone says, F Hitler, and Jeremy goes, and there we have it. Yikes. Imagine saying yikes to someone saying F Hitler. He claims, of course, because saying F Hitler is not stunning or brave. Like, dude, stop quoting South Park. You think that's an adult way to have a conversation? Let me see what else he said. He says something to the effect of, what have you done? There we go. He was nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize. What the F have you done? Talking about Hitler. He claims he was joking. But like, Jeremy, bud, please cease and never continue. Thank you to Winter O'Hare with 5 bits. Jeremy, go on Steven Crowder. If he did, it's safe to assume he is at least far-right sympathetic at this point. Dude Spanking Dude says, can we see some Terrence Pop today? Maybe. We have a lot of other stuff to get through. If we have time, though. One of Jeremy's chatty followers tried to get into it with me, and I was too nice for them, and they ended up agreeing with me. Speaking of D&D, people have been coming out of the woodwork on Twitter to crap on Disabled DM for creating combat wheelchairs. That's stupid. God, people are the worst. Random invite with 30 bits. Wait, Hannah, I got one for you. What's this? SJW comic shop slanders customer, then claims victim. Oof. Literally someone quoting Mein Kampf. Jesus. Jeremy, have you considered when literal Nazis agree with your message that maybe your message is bad? Just a thought. Just a thought. So Jeremy's awful. I don't know what else to say about it. Not only is he a coward, and I wouldn't care if he just didn't want to debate. No one's obligated to be a debater. I don't like debating. I don't do it often. You know? I don't debate often because I don't think it's usually worth anyone's time.
There's nothing funny about the tools.
No one is arguing in good faith in online debates. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. So it's pointless. But I do it sometimes. It's a fun exercise, and it can be a good time. In fact, I'm doing one soon on modern day debates about abortion. I'll let you know when I have a definitive date for that. It might be next weekend. But, random invite with a link. Also, hold on. Look at this tweet. Oh, God, and Jeremy liked the Nazi tweet that quoted Mein Kampf. Jeremy, stop being a Nazi. We had a whole world war about this, and if we have to have another one, we will. And guess what? You're going to be on the losing side, and that won't be fun for you. So knock it off. Go back in the closet, Nazi. Thanks. Anyway, Jeremy's awful. He's a liar. Oh, I was saying, no one's obligated to debate, but Jeremy, this is like the third time you've agreed to debate someone and then at the last minute you backed off. Just stop agreeing to doing debates. Clearly you're not going to do it. You know if you get in a chat with someone who's not going to just swallow your BS that you're going to get killed because you're awful and your rhetoric is awful and the only people who buy it are the 12-year-olds who watch your videos and literal neo-Nazis. So, chill out. How about it? Okay? Okay. Jeremy bad. End of video. What shall we do next? Let's do the quick cleanse and then we'll move on. Is this something I'm going to copy? I can't play this because I post these on YouTube and I can't literally post, like, Animal Crossing soundtrack things. I'll get copyrighted. You gotta... If anyone's ever doing a cleanse or sending me any kind of video, if it's any kind of music that is, like, licensed, if it's from a movie or a game or an actual, like, musician, I can't play it. I cannot play it. It's nothing against you. It's nothing against the thing you submitted, but them's the rules. Ugh. Cute animal? We can do a cute animal cleanse. And then we'll move on.
Oh, he's gonna go in. Oh, I just know he's gonna go in. Oh, I knew he was gonna go in.
Oh, God. This is like weird mud ASMR, too.
Man, I hope he walks himself back to the house tonight because I don't want to have to carry him.
When you watch this video with headphones on, it makes me think someone's knocking on the door.
I think for a pangolin, life just doesn't get any better.
World Pangolin Day. I don't know what the knocking is. I don't know. Anyway, what should we do next? I do want to watch a quartering video later. He did a Brie Larson video, but we just did the quartering, so I don't want to do two back-to-back. Okay. Let's do the Jilly Juice thing. So in the title of this stream, of course, I said Jilly Juice takes another victim, which it has. For those of you who don't know, Jilly Juice is a alt health medicine. It's not a medicine. Made by Jillian Epperly. Jilly Juice. Let me find her YouTube channel so you guys can see her. I guess she'd be under, like, conspiracy folk, probably. Yeah. This is her YouTube channel, Jillian My Thai Protocol. This is where she talks about her Jilly Juice stuff and a bunch of other weird things. So what Jillian does is Jillian makes this thing called Jilly Juice, which is supposed to somehow fix every illness. Now, she believes, like a lot of other alt health people, this is like a common trope of the, like, panacea market, and that is that all disease in humans are caused by Candida. Candida is a fungus that people can get. If you get it, like, in your lady bits, it's called a yeast infection. If you get it in your mouth, it's called thrush. So there are conditions that are caused by Candida. But some of these alt-health wackadoos believe that Candida causes everything from the common cold to cancer, and those are just the C's. So Jillian, in her brilliance, decides, I'm going to create a supplement, a juice that is going to solve all these problems. Yes, she also believes that the Jilly juice will cure the gay. She says that if you're going to drink Jilly juice, it'll turn you straight if you're part of the LGB community. And if you're part of the T community like myself, I'm guessing she would say it will turn you cis. Although I don't know if Jillian knows the word cis. She also believes it can regrow limbs, makes those claims. She's been on Dr. Phil, the wonderful Jeff Holiday, who gets hosted on this channel sometimes, if you've ever seen. I've rated him a few times. Has covered her at length on his YouTube channel in a series entitled A Song of Salt and Poo. It's very good. It's very in-depth. It's very funny. Jeff's a great guy. Very funny dude. Check it out. Unfortunately, this juice, which is produced by taking cabbage and kale, putting it in a jar of salt water, I'm talking really, really salty water, and then you sit it on your counter, seal it up, and ferment it for a bit, and then you drink it, like a gallon a day. So to be clear, she is prescribing that people drink like a gallon of salty fermented cabbage water every day. As you might expect, this goes badly. It causes severe dehydration. It hurts you. It gives you what she calls waterfalls, or what normal human beings would call explosive diarrhea. And unfortunately, it is hurt people. On her Dr. Phil appearance, they brought her face-to-face with people who have taken Jilly juice when they've been very sick. At least one woman it gave a stroke to, because severe dehydration and high sodium intake can cause strokes. So this woman was treating herself with Jilly juice, and she had a stroke. There was another woman that they talked about in the Dr. Phil episode where it killed her, or at least she died while on it, right? I think she was already severely ill, but that's the problem with stuff like this, right? The problem is, maybe a healthy person could deal with this for a little bit. It would still make you feel like crap. It would still give you diarrhea. But you might be able to survive as long as you were coupling it with, like, a ton of other fluid intake. Even so, it's going to be real rough on your kidneys, I would think. But she's giving this to sick people. She's telling sick people to do this. And that's dangerous. So we know of at least one person who's died while taking Jilly juice. We know of one person who's had a stroke. And today we're going to learn about another victim. This victim has 4 legs and is furry. That's right. Jillian Epperly may have killed a dog. So let's talk about it. Here's a cleanse. We'll keep the cleanser after this one. She advises against clean water. Well, there you go.
Goodbye.
So thank you, Antipodian Squid, for sending me these. She has a private Facebook group, Jillian. Antipodian Squid is part of a group that keeps an eye on Jillian and her followers, and, it was not her dog, it was a different person's dog who's in her Facebook group. So anyway, Antipodian Squid has, and you've seen Squid here in the comments or in the chat, right? You've seen her. I don't know if is she here right now? I don't know if I see her. Anyway, she sent me these things from the private account. sort of chronicling when this person starts giving this to their dog to when the dog passes away. So we're going to read these. It's very unfortunate. I feel for this dog. It almost upsets me more because, like, an adult person doing this, they're making a poor decision for themselves, right? And adults kind of have the right to make bad decisions. It's when people start giving this to their kids, when they start giving them to their pets, they don't have a choice in the matter, and it's really effed up. So, anyway, let's read these, and, yeah, it smells really bad. Miles on YouTube. Hold on, let me look him up. Drank it at one point. Jilly juice. Miles.
The woman.
Here's Miles. I have her book somewhere lying around. I have no idea where it is, but I really, really want to get it so I can read it on stream at some point. It's ridiculous. I've read a little bit of it, and it's just completely incomprehensible. Where is the drinking of the juice? He makes it and drinks it somewhere in the video. Where is the... Oh, here we go. Miles Power, really good YouTube channel as well. I think he's a chemist by trade. Anyway, he mixed this up and decided to drink some for the video.
It smells like someone has canned a year's worth of farts. That is truly vile. Oh my god. Right. No, the smell is really overpowering. Yeah, so anyway, I've got a bit of a reputation of trying stuff. So I'm going to have a little bit of a sip and describe it to you guys. And yeah, okay. I mean, what do I plan to achieve by this? I mean, it's going to be awful, and I'm going to spit it out because it's fucking salt water. But how anyone can get past that smell? Okay, he goes. Okay.
Oh. And you're supposed to drink like a gallon of this per day.
I'm gonna close that. The smell is so bad. Okay. Okay, how can I describe it? Well, it's exactly what you think of. It's a horrible cabbage that's been left out for 3 days in salt water. It's gross. The smell is horrible, and it's still lingering. The smell. No, that was worse than drinking bleach. So it just shows you how desperate some people are. If they're willing to endure that, like liters and liters of that. And
there's nothing funny about the tools
oh
of
god,
capitalism.
and yeah. The worst thing about it is
Xandris, thanks for
even
continuing your
It's actually the smell.
4-month streak. 4 months of chuds
Yeah,
and tinfoil.
It's just awful. Like even Jilly herself, who has been doing this for years, can't stand this stuff because it is fucking rancid. Okay, look, I mean, yeah, watch this. Like, this is her drinking it, and yeah, she's obviously enjoying it. Look at that face.
Woo! That's freaking intense.
Okay, so you get it. So let's take a look at these. The dog, as far as I know, had some other health issues, but the issue with putting the dog on Jilly juice is twofold. First of all, it's going to dehydrate the heck out of the dog, right? Presumably, she's, like, supplementing this with water, but nonetheless, because it does look like there's water here in this second bowl, nonetheless, it's going to dehydrate the dog, and it's going to exacerbate any existing health issues. And secondly, if you're going to use Jilly juice, you're probably not taking the dog to the vet, which is what you should be doing if the dog is having health issues. Salt is really bad for dogs? Yeah, that makes sense. Can we get an ew or gross emote? Maybe. Did the sub go through? Maybe there's latency. Did I miss a sub that you did? If so, I'm sorry. Oh, I didn't see yours. So, I don't know. Didn't go through for some reason. Anyway. So, this person says, yes, Peaches is on Jilly Juice too. Traveling gets emote first. Yeah, it will. Yes, Peaches is on Jilly Juice too. Animals need their immune system fed just as badly as people. My baby's gonna get stronger. Her fur is softer than it's ever been too. Booyah. Next post. From 3 days from when... Let's see, this was the 6th of August. And then this is 3 days ago from when this screenshot was taken. Woo! I am not ready to be awake yet, but anywho, molasses. Yeah, thank you, Jill. She drank again and is still resting. When I was a young person, my poor mama would literally pass out with a big thud, go into convulsions, then wake up blind. Sounds like she was having seizures. All I could do was sit there with her until she could get up again. Finally, they said she was diabetic. Oh, okay. And hypoglycemic. And her horrible health tortures went on from there. My poor mama. Sigh. Peachy has hypoglycemia. She is now recovering and has a fighting chance. Qua pla success. So I'm guessing this means that this lady has taken her dog off of whatever diabetes medication that they're on, and instead is giving them Jilly Juice. Salt will not kill you. Salt can kill you. Basically anything in high enough concentrations can kill you. Salt will not kill you. We all need much more than people consume. Oh no. American diets have way more sodium in them than is necessary. So this is just all outright untrue. And doctors deliberately tell to restrict salt. It is a lie. I have consumed over 80 pounds of salt in the last 2 3/4 years. Need more. Deliberate plan by the invisible powers that be. Excuse me. You have been warned, but you need more than just the salt. Salt, cabbage, live probiotics of fermented recipe found in my featured photos. Then Jillian herself says, yes. Yes, queen. And then this person says, a certain person rules the world. Do we really think he ain't gonna use food in his machinations as a fundamental part of life, but so naturally accepted that what we put in our mouths to stay alive isn't going to affect us, of course. So they're on the woo-woo conspiracy train, and they're saying things to the effect of, oh, they're telling us we shouldn't eat fatal levels of salt because it's all part of the conspiracy. This person says, I just took Miss Peachy out and she went pee and poo without being too unsteady or falling down. Thank you, Jilly Juice emergency formula. Ordering some maple syrup or something like that soon. Add it to the already fermented formula. Splatterkin, thank you for your 2-month streak. Splatterkin says, effing never doubt the stupidity of people so desperate they'll poison themselves. Yep. This guy says, thanks for sharing. She says, can save a life for sure. I was a desperate situation, especially with her other existing conditions. She has much more strength. She's got a lot of issues, but she's even fighting me to clean her eyes and teeth now. Yay! Ugh. Just add a couple of tablespoons full to your quart of Jilly Juice. Emergency formula for low weight and hypoglycemia, shaking, agitation, confusion, weakness. Another long night, my girl is fighting. Sigh. Bark, 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 bark. People just have to be a stupid dog. Bark, bark, bark. Sigh. I don't hear anyone telling it to be quiet either. Bark, bark, bark. Continues. And I cleaned up crap not belonging to my dog this morning. Jesus, this lady's nuts. And then we get to, of course, what was inevitable. I am sad to announce that poor little Peachy has died. She just had too much wrong. I tried, and so did she. No comments, please. Yeah. Messed up. She'll never admit that this is her fault, too. This is too heartbreaking not to comment. She had a good life next to you, and you did everything you could to help her. Nope! She fed the dog a bunch of fermented cabbage salt water, which probably shortened their life considerably. We all wish we could save everyone, but we can't. Only Jehovah can! Oh, God. These people. Much love to you, my dear sister. Soon, all pain we've gone through will be reversed 100-fold. Hugs. Thank you, sweet sis. So she killed a dog, and her family's like, you did the best you could. Anyway, so that's that story. It's very sad, but, you know, grifter's gonna grift, and if you grift people into taking something that you're gonna say is a medicine when really, it's really, really bad for you, and someone gives it to either you or a dog, there's a good chance you're gonna die. Antipodian Squid with 200 bits. Good morning. Oh, I came right in the middle of it. Yeah, thanks for the links. Kinda depressing, but, like, people gotta know, right? Jilly juice is dangerous. It will kill you. We know people have had strokes because of it. Luckily, they were able to survive, but of course, with anyone who's had a stroke, there are complications. These people are having difficulties because of it. We know of people who are already sick who are taking Jilly juice. They died. It probably shortened their lifespan. It's just messed up. Jillian is a scam artist. And the worst part about it is, she's not even a scam artist who's just scamming, right? She believes her own BS. She believes that she is right, and nothing can convince her otherwise. No matter how many people she hurts, no matter how many people she puts in danger, no matter how many times actual doctors and people with information that she doesn't understand come to her and explain why it doesn't work, she'll never believe them, because she's a narcissist, and because she's crazy.
There's nothing funny
It's a shame. It really is. Don't take Jilly juice, and if you hear of anyone taking it, let them know about all of this, because it's dangerous. It's gonna hurt them. Daddy Sume with 10 bits. I honestly think she's schizophrenic. Maybe. Maybe. If so, why aren't the people in her life doing something? She's married. She has a husband. Why hasn't he noticed? Why hasn't the rest of her family noticed? Anyway. So, recently, Warner Brothers did their DC Fandom, which was an event in which they unveiled a whole bunch of interesting stuff. James Gunn's Suicide Squad movie, which looks pretty good. Peter Capaldi's in it. I'm all for that, because I love Doctor Who. We have Harley Quinn returning. We have Captain Boomerang returning. We have a bunch of new heroes, too, which is really fun to see. Like, Polka Dot Man is going to be in it, which is hilarious to me. But anyway, I think it'll be, at minimum, watchable. I trust James Gunn. I didn't like the first Suicide Squad movie, but hey, whatever. They also unveiled the trailer for The Batman. That looks good. They unveiled the trailer for the Snyder Justice League, which isn't for me, but if you want that, hey, good for you. I'm glad you're getting the movie you want. They also unveiled some games, one of which is a Suicide Squad game called The Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. This takes place in the same universe as Arkham, the Arkham games, Arkham City, Arkham Asylum, and Arkham Knight. And one angry gamer is mad, and can you guess why? Because they have made Deadshot in this game a black guy. And of course, one angry gamer will not stand for this, even though it doesn't matter at all. And it's basically because they're trying to move it in line with their live-action movies in which Will Smith plays Deadshot. So, is it known where it is in the Arkham timeline? I'm not sure. I know the plot is basically that Brainiac shows up and converts the Justice League somehow with, like, nanobots or something into being evil and the Suicide Squad has to stop them. So, like, the boss fights are going to be, you got to fight the Flash, you got to fight Batman, you got to fight Wonder Woman, you got to fight Green Lantern, and then the final boss, I would imagine, is going to be Superman. So, anyway, let's read this article where he's going to be mad that Deadshot, a fictional character, is a different race. Who cares? Rocksteady Studios decided to race swap Deadshot in the upcoming Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League game, which was recently announced for a 2020 release on PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X. Oh, this game takes place in Metropolis, too, which I'm excited for. Because we've seen Gotham through the Arkham games, but I'm excited to see what their version of Metropolis is going to be, because it's by the same developers. So I have a lot of faith in their ability to sort of flesh out this universe. It'll be fun. They made the race swap rather clear in the 4-minute debut trailer, which you can view below. I'm not going to play it. You can watch it in your own time. But it's just basically showing Metropolis under siege, and the Suicide Squad, including Harley Quinn, kind of meeting up on a rooftop, getting ready to fight the Justice League. And, of course, we see Deadshot here, who now looks like this, which is fine. Who cares? Dude spanking dudes with a bit. All I see is that they turn Deadshot hot. Yeah, sure. As you can see, Deadshot is now clearly a black man, as opposed to being white. He was usually depicted as white in most animated and video game incarnations of the character, even in Rocksteady's own games, yet here they decide to blatantly race swap in and turn an already white character black. Okay? Who cares? He's already played by Will Smith in the movies, and they're trying to be more in line with that. I think that makes sense. The vast majority of people who know who Deadshot is now view him as Will Smith, because almost no one who isn't into the comics knows who Deadshot is. Most centrists, TM... Excuse me, sir, I'm not a centrist, I'm a leftist, and I also find you ridiculous. Will lie and say that Deadshot was always black. What? No? Why would someone lie about that? It doesn't matter. He's a fictional character, dude. But IGN confirmed that Rocksteady's title is set within the Batman Arkham universe, which has already established in 2 games and animated film that Deadshot was white. IGN wrote, quote, speaking during DC Fandom, Rocksteady Studios' Sefton Hill confirmed Suicide Squad is a continuation of the Arkhamverse that began in Arkham Asylum and came to its seeming end in Batman Arkham Knight. Hill explained that Suicide Squad is part of this world and will actually let players see the continuation of plot threads and characters first introduced in those Arkham games. This continuation of the Arkhamverse, so a lot of threads and storylines you're going to see come to fruition in this game, Hill said. This also means that the Suicide Squad will not be in the same universe as the WB Montreal's upcoming Gotham Knights, which focuses on the extended Bat family of heroes in a new continuity. That game, Gotham Knights, I think looks fun too. You can view the images below as further proof that Batman Arkham City, Batman Arkham Knights, and Suicide Squad... Like, does one angry gamer not get that this doesn't matter at all? No one cares. Like, yes, dude, we understand that in earlier games and most of his earlier adaptations of him, whether it be in, like, what was the name of the animated movie? It's this one. It's in the Suicide Squad animated movie. We get that he has been traditionally depicted as a white guy. Okay, they wanted to not do that in this one. It doesn't matter. This isn't a real person. It's a fictional character. Therefore, all this, like, continuity stuff doesn't matter. I don't care, and most people don't either. Splatterkin with 100 bits. You know why he cares, Hannah? The same reason all these people care, because they want to preserve the white race like the shitty LARPers they are. Yeah. It's all dumb stuff. It's like they think they're fighting a proxy war in fictional universes with the races of characters, and it just doesn't matter. Imagine if they made Batman black. Oh, I can't wait. I cannot wait until someday when they either make Black Batman or Black Superman in a movie Oh my goodness. These people are gonna lose their minds. They're gonna be like, you can't have Superman be a black guy? Why? Why? He's an alien. It doesn't matter. Why would he look like a human anyway? Of course he can look like a black guy. Who cares? Anyway. Even the Deadshot wiki page for the Batman Arkham games acknowledged that Deadshot has been race swapped, darkening his skin tone and changing his personality into one adjacent to... Oh. These are his words, not mine. Adjacent to a common thug instead of a prestigious marksman. One Angry Gamer, what does it say that you associate black people with being thugs? I think it says that you're a racist POS. Jesus. I really wish his website was on something that I could, like, report him. He's such a trash person. I don't know who hosts his website. We should probably find out. So trivia. Despite being portrayed as a white male in the film Assault on Arkham and other games, Arkham Origins and Arkham City, as well as various other tie-in comics to the franchise, Deadshot is seemingly retconned as a black male in the upcoming game Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Yep, it's fine. Prestigious? Yeah. At this point, Deadshot is just dead. No? They just retconned him, and now he's like an African-American man. Who cares? Who cares? They decided to kill his character to pander to the BLM crowd. What? His character isn't dead. He's the same character. He just has a different skin color. He also thinks you can't be born gay. This is pretty much what I expected. Yeah, he's an awful guy. Who wants to defund the police and riot across America. Although, technically, this started with David Ayer's original casting of Will Smith as a race-swapped Deadshot. He's just Deadshot! It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that he's... In his 2016 Suicide Squad outing, some people were forgiving because they claimed it was in a different universe, practically forced into the Snyderverse. What does that mean? It's in the DC, like, Snyderverse, the DCEU, whatever you want to call it. What do you mean practically forced? It would be like if I didn't like the Captain America movie for some reason, and I was like, Captain America, the first Avenger, which has been practically forced into the MCU. It doesn't mean anything. Toeen24 says the best sniper ever was a First Nations member. F this race stuff. Yeah. Idiot. He's an absolute idiot. However, in this case, it's a blatant and discriminatory act on behalf of Rockstar, given that Deadshot was always white in the Arkhamverse, and yet they decided to race swap in order to pander to intellectual deadbeats. Or, how about this? They wanted this version of the character to align with what most people view the character as. I guarantee the vast majority of people who are going to be playing this Suicide Squad game, which looks fun, I'm sure it'll sell well, it's by the people who did Arkham City, I guarantee most people who play it will recognize this guy as Deadshot more easily than this one, even though this was the depiction in the earlier game. Because a lot of people, this will probably be their first game in the Arkhamverse, and they've probably only heard of Deadshot through the movie. If you put this guy in, they'd be like, why is Deadshot a white guy? It doesn't matter. He's a fictional character. Didn't he do this when Sam Jackson was chosen for Nick Fury too? Probably. No idea. Yeah, King Shark is in it. That looks fun. Anyway, it looks like a good game. Dare we look at the comments? Dare we? Let's see. Dorson the Great says, Harley Quinn has short hair because programming hair physics and collision detection and all that is too much work for diversity hires. Oh my god. Really? Really? Wow, and there's an N-word. Yikes. Who hosts this website? If we can find the host of this website, we really gotta, like, get him off this, whoever does this. We get to the bottom of the page. See if there's anything. Do-do-do-do. Advertiser policy, terms of service, contact info, about page. Probably powered by WordPress. WordPress. Can you report websites on WordPress? Who is a tool for that? I don't know what that means. Let me see if I can find a report link on the WordPress website. Report WordPress site. Report a site. Uh-oh. If you find that a site violates our user guidelines or terms of service, we want you to let us know about it. Please understand that we don't always respond to these reports, but every single one is read by a real human being, and the reported site is reviewed accordingly. More importantly, please note that the team behind WordPress strongly believes in freedom of speech. Oh boy. How does WordPress feel about the N-word? Because there was a lot of N-word stuff in the comments. We'll give it a shot anyway. If you're logged into a WordPress.com account and stumble upon a site you'd like to report, simply click the 3 dots to the right of the follow link at the bottom right corner of the screen, and you'll see your report content, which will allow you to send us a report for content that is spam, adult content, abusive content. It might be under abusive content. Okay. You can at least give it a shot. Let me see if I can find that 3 dots thing. I have no idea where that would be. I don't know. If you want to try and find it, here's a link to the page. If you want to report it, go for it. Am I logged in? I don't have a WordPress account, and I'm not going to sign up for one. Might just be a rent-a-server, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, this guy's trash. He really, really is. Moving on. What else do we have? We have this guy, the awful guy that we sent the email about. We'll check out one of his more recent videos. We haven't gotten any sort of update. Try and resend the email again. Does OAG even have a significant following? I mean, that article had 108 comments. I have no idea. I don't care if it's just him and one other racist asshole shouting racial slurs at each other. I'm going to deplatform them if I can. These people need to get off the internet and crawl back into their holes where they belong. My wife has a perfectly dry P word. Okay, we can do this cleanse.
Hi, honey. Have a wonderful day at work. As a doctor at the doctor's office. She's a doctor. Hold on 1 second. I just been...
Antipodian Squid says with 100 bits, Hannah, I don't have a WordPress. What do you take me for? Some kind of Hot Pocket blogger? Doesn't Jeremy use him as a source? It wouldn't surprise me.
Trying to make sure about... let's see. Perfectly dry. As it should be. It's perfectly dry. She does not have a wet ass P word. Let's go. You can't get your wife's P word wet. These trolls. Actually, my wife, who is a doctor, says that it would be a medical problem if it got wet, or it would mean that she tinkled her pants. Guess what? My wife is potty trained. Checkmate, liberals.
Boiled chicken.
Why is this chicken wet? You know how much I hate wet meat? Well, the only reason their P words would be wet is because of liberal tears, probably. Oh, they have a Bernie bumper sticker, of course. Do you have any idea that Bernie dropped the fuck out of their goddamn race?
NB Gamer says, oh, now my sub went through. Don't have nothing clever to say, but I love listening to you via audio as I deliver food at work. I'm glad. I'll try and describe things when I need to.
People who vote for Bernie get so triggered. You're fucking stupid. Oh, you're not supposed to be filming right now, actually. And that was straight facts, and none of them cared about your feelings because facts don't care about your feelings. Sorry, liberal. Where's the main? Oh, there it is.
Oh god, just mayo on boiled chicken. I hate
it's
it.
hot. That's hot. Honey, did you put black pepper on the chicken again? God damn it. She's probably been watching CNN again. Oh my gosh, bumper to bumper again. I thought Los Angeles was supposed to be progressive. This traffic's certainly not progressing anywhere. Write that one down so I can say it on Joe Rogan's podcast. And you're blocked. Where's my Milky? Go! I'm gonna be late for Joe Rogan's podcast! I have to extinguish it somehow. Wait a minute. Honey, why does the mayo sound like wet P word right now? Oh god, it's Cardi B again on the radio. Cardi B, her mom should have taken Planny B. It's well known in the medical field, which my wife is.
The smug look at the camera after he tries to make a joke is spot on. I love it.
Part of that, having a wet ass P word means you either have trichomoniasis, vaginosis, or yeast infection, or you're simply anti-Semitic. What is this mayonnaise
Can
called? The
replace
last
Ben
dab?
with this
This
guy?
is hotter
That'd be
than
nice.
a gefilte fish straight out the jar. I said, I need some milk. Where's my sister? Somebody's saying they sent me nudes of my sister to... Oh no, that's definitely not her breasts. Get out of here! These liberals are literally on their phones all day long. Hold on, somebody's tweeting at me. I gotta clap back. They really changed the name of the street to Barack Obama Boulevard. Barack Hussein Obama. It literally sounds like a Muslim fucking leprechaun or something. Why isn't there a George W. Bush Boulevard? That's what I want to know. I want to understand that. The name of Bomb Boulevard should be changed to Boulevard Broken Dreams, like the Green Day song. And the Green Day song, American Idiot, should be about Barack Obama himself. If he even was American, that is. Oh my gosh, why is it so hot like some kind of Mexicana Latina? Gel, listen, we don't eat the left wing in this house, we only eat the right wing. Checkmate, liberals. Cock is actually the traditional word for chicken, and yes, I do like eating lots of it. So Wikipedia, a website that claims it's free for everybody to edit, will no longer let me edit my height on my own bio. It's my bio, I should be able to decide. Yeah, actually, no, can you vacuum as well? And then can you clean on top of the cupboards? I can't reach up there. Oh yeah, there's some chores in this house. There's some chores in this house. Exactly, no, it's like the Cardi B song. She says whores in this house. There's chores in this house, yeah. This is the university. What? The
Yeah,
fuck?
it looks pretty closed.
Well,
man.
how am I supposed to do my talk on how facts don't care about your feelings? They locked the gates even. That hurts my feelings, and that's a fact. Look, I don't even care about USC. I don't need to do a speech there. Their mascot is the Trojans, for God's sakes. And I hate contraception. I'm Orthodox, so I don't like condoms. Look it up. Nutritional facts is basically just another type of regulation that liberals have forced upon us. For instance, it's all lies anyway. 59 servings. It does not last 59 meals. Let's Google BBC so we can learn about liberal news, and go. And this is just disgusting. If you Google BBC... Don't hit the videos tab, whatever you do. I need to check some of these out. Get out. Get out. My wife has a perfectly dry P word. You saw me check when she got out the car.
Yeah, no, I saw that. It's 100% dry for sure.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, if you look closely at the nutritional facts in this, actually there's 0 trans fats. That's right, checkmate, liberals. If only we could make the country have 0 trans fats.
Next election. They are the ones that can change things dramatically if they show up and vote.
November 3rd is our time. That's a
They told them the date?
Be heard. Vote for real change.
What's poppin' LA? It's your girl Cardi B.
No! No!
We should have been have free Medicare for a long time. And
The wet-ass P-word lady's on the radio right now!
3LA.com.
Keyword change LA.
That's amazing. That's hilarious. If you want this video, here's a link. I'll link you guys to this. One more. Someone has this. John Mulaney sings WAP.
I said certified freak. 7 days a week. Wet ass pussy, make that pull-out game weak. Yeah, 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 you fucking wit.
It's funny. I don't know how much of that I can play because of it being, even if it's just the, you know, background track. Nonetheless, I don't know how much of that I can play without getting flagged. He does a good Mulaney impersonation. Jilly Juice we already checked out. If you haven't already, check out my YouTube channel. It's where I post all my full streams and my stream highlights. Check it out. Link is in the chat. What shall we do? All right, fine. We'll do the. It's time to go back to the quartering, even though we already covered him once today. He did a new video on Brie Larson, so of course, as I am obsessed with Jeremy's obsession with Brie Larson, we gotta watch this. There's not a good new John Doyle video out, so. He's got one on that Netflix movie, Cuties, but I think that's been done to death, and I don't particularly care about his opinion. Like, yeah, Netflix advertised that in a disgusting way. So, I don't really have anything substantive to say on John's commentary about it. He'll probably say something stupid like, this is indicative of how the left wants to promote pedophilia or something untrue, but, you know, not worth even discussing. Anyway, so here is the quartering talking about Brie Larson again, and I'm obsessed with his obsession.
Brie Larson is a huge focus of this channel. Because I like to consider this channel the #1 Brie Larson fan club channel, even though there are other channels with slightly more videos on Brie Larson than me. I'm catching up. And
PK the Lost.
With
Can we replace Ben with this guy?
There's very little to look forward
Miss K's
to.
Oh, that was a while ago.
Queen
Miss
Brie,
K's, thank you
outside
for
of the
continuing your sub. 4-month streak.
Giant cucumber video on her YouTube channel.
This isn't even the biggest one. This one was just the easiest one for me to grab.
That's what she said.
But now it
Very mature, Jeremy.
appears she has teamed up. It is the absolute dream team. Brie Larson as herself and Van Jones.
I don't even know who Van Jones is.
Have teamed up for a video where you will be able to harass Brie Larson in virtual reality.
So like, what are you doing here, Kermit?
Same as you.
You looking for waifus too?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Nani?
Hi, I'm Brie Larson.
I'm not kidding. I don't have VR goggles, but, you know, getting upset, hey sister, looking good, or hey Brie, why don't you smile more? I'm sure that's how this is gonna go. And I didn't even know this was a thing, but apparently Van Jones got like an Emmy Award for his first one, which we'll take a look at too. Van Jones, obviously, in case you didn't know, absolute moron. This is the guy behind the, this was a white lash.
This was a white lash.
Thank you to, what was it, Ask Compy with a bit. Oh god, he's lusting over it. Yeah, that's how a lot of his videos on Brie Larson have been going.
Against a changing country. It was a white lash against a black president.
Honestly, none of that's ridiculous. That all sounds accurate to me.
In part.
And also, I believe the guy talking about the Nothing Burger. He is a fraud, a hack, a shill, and a propagandist. Have I covered Van Jones properly?
Gonna guess no.
Van Jones will team up with Marvel stars in VR series that puts you inside spicy harassment. Whew, awesome. After teaming up with Black Panther star Winston Duke to put people in a virtual reality police stop scenario.
So basically it's like a VR experience that puts you in certain social situations that you otherwise probably wouldn't be in real life. Okay.
Former Obama special advisor Van Jones is...
I mean to say, you wouldn't be in real life if you aren't like a woman. Or in the case of the one that's like a traffic stop that's very aggressive, I mean... That would be for, like, people of color.
Teaming up with Marvel movie star Brie Larson for a spicy harassment episode of his virtual reality film series, The Messy Truth. Jones' first VR project, starring Black Panther player Winston Duke, put viewers virtually in the place of a small boy sitting in the front seat as his father is pulled over, racially profiled, and
Jerry Falwell Jr. resigned? Why? We'll take a look at that after this video.
harassed by a white police officer. The episode won and I know you probably all, this is a very prestigious award, an Advanced Imaging Society Social Justice Lumineer Award. You can even fit the whole name. The trophy's probably like a dinner plate, and it's got the name all the way around it. It also won an Emmy for Outstanding Innovation in Interactive Media. What? An Emmy?
Yes, Jeremy, you know, that award that you get for televised media? Again, being incredulous isn't an argument, right? They gave it an Emmy specifically for being innovative, using a new technology, VR, to try and put people in a certain situation and get them to understand certain social issues from another person's point of view. That makes sense. I don't know how good the implementation of it was in actuality. I don't have a VR headset anymore, but I'd imagine at the very least the attempt is what the award is for, right? It's an interesting concept. The ability to put people into certain situations they might not face in the real world to get them to understand the experience of those who do have those situations happen to them. That's going to be something I think we see more and more of as VR becomes more adopted and gets better over time.
Wait till you see this thing. Jones also showcased the police profiling VR simulation at the Conservative Political Action Committee. Getting the Emmy nomination was a trip.
Why Brie Larson? Probably because she gets harassed all the time online by douches like the Quartering. Sustained Tie Games, thanks for continuing our subscription. 3-month streak.
We're so scrappy. What? We're so scrappy. You're Van Jones. You're on CNN every night. You have connections all over Washington. What do you mean we're so scrappy? For it to get that kind of acknowledgement is just amazing. Yeah, I'm sure it wasn't just a symbolic one. I'm sure. The next project will put viewers in a small restaurant as they watch Captain Marvel star Brie Larson portray a waitress.
Ha ha ha. Actress portrays part. Ha ha ha. Funny joke? Are you okay, Jeremy?
You know how many people are going to buy VR goggles just to harass Brie Larson? I mean, is this like a 4D chess move to sell more VR goggles?
Jeremy, what's your reading comprehension level? You are a third-party witness to her getting harassed. You are not the one harassing her. Did you even listen to the thing you read out loud? Thank you to AskCompu, who says he's trying to cover up his lusting by laughing instead. I guess so.
Is Van Jones in the VR business? The Messy Truth director Elijah Allen Blitz insisted that the film's experience could just change the world. These people are so far up their own rears. It's absolute.
I don't disagree with that. A lot of people in entertainment are up their own butts, but I understand the point they're trying to make. That the technology of virtual reality can greater help people with empathy deficits understand certain situations by seeing them firsthand virtually, because a lot of people, for some reason, are unable to empathize with certain situations and understand the gravity of them until they've experienced them firsthand.
Absolutely hilarious. It is unfathomable to think this highly of oneself. I mean, what world are these people living in? Nobody's even gonna watch this thing. Except for, us, obviously. Because it put viewers inside the film via VR headsets. Yeah, it's really gonna change the world to something that...
Antipodian Squid with 100 bits. Jeremy will buy VR goggles to harass her and then make a video bitching about how he is lied to because he only got to watch her being harassed and not reach out and go grope her himself. You know, I'd laugh, but that's probably true. He's gonna do probably a stupid Let's Play of it because he thinks it's hilarious. And then he's gonna, like, try and harass her. It's gonna be... What's the opposite of funny? Depressing? It's gonna be depressing to see a grown adult 40-year-old man buy a VR headset just so he can pretend to harass Brie Larson in person.
Less than 0.5% of people own. Yeah, can't wait to see all the upper middle class white kids who have it to play Half-Life Alyx diving into Captain Marvel as a waitress. They called the system an empathy machine because it can make the experience more intimate. When Elijah...
Yes. You know, I almost called you Sargon. Jeremy, you know that saying things sarcastically doesn't mean that what you're saying isn't true? If you don't think that in the future, as adoption rates for VR goes up, as the price goes down, these kind of experiences aren't going to be things that are going to be used, you're crazy. Like, why do you... Like, every technology in human history, whether it be the written word, the invention of things like the novel, the invention of radio and television and movies, all of these things have been tools built on empathy to try and get you to see and understand the lived experience of others. Why would VR be any different? Right? This would be like, I don't even know, watching the movie To Kill a Mockingbird and being like, trying to explain to me the experience of discriminated against people of color in the South. Like, this is how stupid he's coming across. Jeremy, please stop.
Elijah and I first spoke, I think our first conversation was about empathy. And I realized that I could take what I was already doing a step further with this project. Larson said of her role with Jones. I make movies to be an empathy machine. Really? I believe
Sunflower
when
Girl
you're sitting
13,
in a
thanks
theater,
for
it doesn't
continuing
matter
your
how many
sub.
friends or family members you're with, you're alone. And you become one with whoever you're watching. That's thinking awfully high of the immersion of the film. I've certainly been in many...
Have you used VR, Jeremy? Because it's like, if you've never used like VR, especially like high quality VR, and even like PlayStation VR, is like, it's okay. But if you use like an Oculus Rift or something, the immersion factor is just bonkers. It's legit crazy how different the experience is than just watching a movie or just playing a game on a TV. It's almost like Jeremy's talking about something without having any experience, and he's just talking out of his butt. What a surprise.
Films where I had full conversations with the people I was with because the movie was so boring. I found it to be a true marker of when films are getting watched, when they're successful, when they're being talked about. Despite the ideologically charged topics, Jones, CNN newsreader, insists that the VR film series is not propaganda. Really? Really? I mean, you're only highlighting the absolute worst scenarios.
Right. What a mysterious imaginary scenario. When would anyone harass Brie Larson in real life? Says Jeremy in his 97th video on Brie Larson. This fantasy propaganda? There's no such thing as harassing Brie Larson. Oh my god.
I am sure that there's no denying that there are bad stops made by police. There's no denying that there is profiling that happens and that it shouldn't. But the reality is it's still a very, very, very small percentage of the...
You heard it here first. White, middle-aged, balding man Jeremy Hambley says police violence is not an issue. Everyone go back to your business. Jeremy pees in his basement. Hambley says we're fine.
The overall stops, and what this film presents is that this is just every single time someone gets pulled over, this is how they get treated. As Yahoo rationalized this way, the goal of this particular project and the specific use of media, says Jones, is not to tell someone how to feel or think, or sensationalize an event. Are you sure you're literally only highlighting a very emotionally charged event?
Jeremy, do you want them to make a VR experience where Brie Larson is just your waitress and absolutely nothing interesting happens? What would the point of that be?
Making it VR, saying you want it to be an empathy machine, saying you believe it's going to change the world to the
Do I support Trump?
VR goggles,
I don't. Jeremy does.
But it's not about propaganda, or it's not about sensationalizing it. Then why do you care about getting an Emmy? Why do you submit it for award seasons? But instead, it's to allow the individual a scenario themselves in order to reveal an authentic and empathetic response. Well, why don't you use actual footage then?
This is like being like, To Kill a Mockingbird, why don't you film actual racism happening? Why did you make a movie about this instead of just showing me documentary footage? Jeremy, your argument is bad, and you should feel bad about articulating it in such a way as to not only illustrate how stupid you are, but to make your audience stupider as a whole. Congratulations. Can we make a VR experience where you're just a 14-year-old watching the quartering videos, being impressed upon awful, backwards morality, and then growing up to do nothing of worth because you haven't learned to socialize and be a reasonable human being with empathy? I'd watch that VR thing. Cupcake Chaos, 4-month streak. Thank you very much. 4 months, well worth the cash. I appreciate it. I really, really do.
I mean, there is absolutely actual footage out there that exists that isn't with Hollywood actors and actresses in it, faking it. There are...
Jeremy, how are you going to film something for VR when you don't know when it's going to happen? Are you going to walk around with a VR camera that's going to need to be like one of those cameras that does 360? It's a huge piece of equipment, and just wait for someone to start harassing a woman in front of this 360-degree camera? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Absolutely real police stops that are not okay.
Again, same thing. Jeremy, do you want to just drive around with a person who's like African American in your car with a 360-degree camera and wait for a cop to pull them over and treat them badly, even though the cop will be able to see the camera and know they're being filmed? No? Again, Jeremy, I know critical thinking is not your strong suit. Your strong suit is harassing people, getting kicked out of events by Wizards of the Coast, and backing out of debates. But just for a second, try and connect a couple of your brain cells together, rub them real hard, and make a thought that doesn't make me want to quit the internet for how stupid this is. Suit and Tie Games, thanks for the 300 bits. Love the 2015 Back to the Future hat. Thank you. Logarth says, okay, to be honest, to do this, you would build a world and have actors playing the parts. You would be put into the part of the black person so you could feel how they feel. Yeah. I don't think Jeremy understands how VR works.
Why not highlight that? Oh, because it's got to be about you, Van Jones, and Brie Larson, obviously.
Or because Brie Larson is an actress and a famous person, and her being in something helps bring attention to it. And you need an actress anyway, because of course you're going to have to film this, because you can't carry around a giant... Let's look at what these VR cameras look like. VR professional camera rig.
About the tools of capitalism.
Dun. It's these giant cameras that cover 360 degrees. You gonna carry this around with you everywhere, Jeremy, and just hope you catch harassment happening, and while you walk up to them with this insane camera rig, hopefully they don't notice and don't stop what they're doing because you're clearly filming them with like 12 different cameras. You absolute moron.
The truth has a way of uniting people.
Antipodian Squid with 100 bits. We drove around for a week with this huge-ass camera, and no police officers were awful to us. Therefore, there's no systematic problem, is kind of how that would go. Yeah. Cops don't want to behave like shit if there's cameras on them. What a shock.
Propaganda crap spewed onto the floor.
You can film stuff for VR with your cell phone, but you can only get wherever your camera's pointing. For these VR experiences, you do 360 degrees, and you need the 360-degree camera for that.
Fortnite screen, and everyone was throwing tomatoes at it.
Nani?
Oh my god!
Is a universal sound, but it does a lot more than just entertain. You know, hip-hop educates.
Yeah, I remember. The Messy Truth VR experience secures social justice Lumineer Award. And then you see the Messy Truth. Now, it's coming out soon.
Just force every citizen to wear a body camera. Checkmate, liberals.
But of course, they go way over the top. He's just heading down a country road, you know, just minding his own business. That's right. And then they let the K9 unit in for no reason whatsoever.
Clairvoyance, thanks for following. Oh, yes, Jeremy, because cops never use a K9 unit when it's not called for. How ignorant are you, Jeremy, you absolute moron? Cops would never misuse their K9 units. It's never happened to me, so it never happens.
Everything escalates way over the top and gets super emotional.
Yes, that's the point. Because these things happen in real life. Just last night, there was another shooting of an unarmed black man by the police. Like, are you serious, Jeremy? This never happens, except for all the times that it happens. Tombstone Official, thank you for following.
Yeah, this isn't desired, you know, this isn't designed to make anything look bad at all. Now, I don't know if you can look around in the VR issue. I recommend watching it for a nice dose of cringe. And I don't want to be totally insensitive here.
Too late?
Again, I think this type of thing does happen, and it's not okay when it does. This particular...
Okay, then that's it. Then why are you bitching about the thing that's literally just saying that? Why are you bitching about the thing that's literally just saying this is a thing that happens and it's awful? If you already agree that it happens and it's awful. Is it because you don't actually agree that it happens and it's awful? Or maybe you agree that it happens and you just don't think it's awful. You have a weird relationship with Hitler, which we looked at on Twitter earlier, so it wouldn't surprise me if you don't really particularly care what happens to African American people in this country. But, you know, maybe try and not be so obvious about it. That'd be great. I gotta take these hats off for a second. They're giving me a headache. MW1642, thanks for gifting a sub. I appreciate that.
I hear that you're still being a bully.
Who said that?
Me.
Oh, okay.
I've been listening to your stream the whole time.
I know. I'm so mean to Jeremy. He's such an innocent little boy in front of his camera.
Thanks for the compliment earlier at the beginning of the stream.
Oh, no problem.
I turned the living room television full blast so that I could hear it outside.
Okay. Good. Thank you, Ofurio Idea. Thank you for following. Welcome to the stream. Ooh, these are giving me a headache. I gotta take these off for a sec. Sorry.
Particular stop one, I obviously have less of an issue with. I think it's a way over the top and double cringe. You wouldn't have the dog on scene that quickly. You wouldn't have the... I mean...
Some cops drive around with K9 units.
They just have everything that could go wrong, does go wrong, and it just portrays these cops as racist. There's 3 cops on the scene immediately. Dogs bark. The reason here By the way, in this scene, this mean dog is barking at supposedly his toddler. The point of view you have here is this.
Yes. Do you think police dogs wouldn't bark at a child because they're a child? Do you think police dogs care? What?
Toddler. So Van Jones, not trying to sensationalize anything, has a police dog barking at a toddler.
Yes. Do you think that's not a thing that would happen?
I'm sure that was just not, I mean, that's just, you know, that wasn't purposely done to amp things up to 11 or 12, Van Jones. I'm really looking forward to Brie Larson as a waitress, when maybe you could give her a little pinch, or maybe you could say,
Jeremy's fucking disgusting. Dude spanking dudes with 1, 2, 3 bits, 4 bits. I may have to stop watching this. It makes me feel sad. Jeremy made a career off of being stupid and getting money off it, and here I am, useless and still with my parents. I might go play Final Fantasy XIV. Yeah, gross.
You know what's going to be hilarious? Here's my prediction. It's going to have, wow, you're much prettier when you smile more. Or, you should smile more. Or,
yeah, that's harassing someone, Jeremy. Don't do that. If you do that, you're an asshole. MW1642, thanks for gifting another sub. I appreciate that.
Or some poor guy, some poor sap's going to actually, you know, not see a wedding ring and give her his number. And that's going to just be such an...
Antipodian Squid, 500 bits. Called it on the groping. Yep.
An emotional experience for this waitress that she's going to end up on the top of a roof and jump off because Van Jones totally isn't sensationalizing anything.
That's ironic considering you literally harassed a cosplayer in the Magic the Gathering community so badly and sent so many people to go harass her that she was thinking about offing herself. Jeremy, you are the bad guy. I hope you know that. Sincerely. The reason people give you so much crap is because you deserve it. You really do. You're an awful person. You're just the worst.
For one, look forward to this. I don't know if it's going to make me buy VR goggles. Probably not. But I look forward to it greatly. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.
God, Jeremy's a disgusting disgrace. I cannot believe he still is doing this stuff. Absolutely bonkers. Sushi Mom sent me this link. Apparently Jerry Falwell Jr. is resigning as the president of Liberty University. Let's take a look and see why. Embattled evangelical leader Jerry Falwell Jr. resigned Monday as president of Liberty University, the Christian school founded by his late father, a spokesman for the school told CNN. The Christian school in Lynchburg, Virginia will issue a statement soon, Liberty University spokesman told Scott Lamb. Falwell Jr.'s resignation comes after the latest in a series of recent public controversies about his behavior. A Miami man has said he had A Miami man is saying he had an 8-year affair with Falwell Jr.'s wife. I didn't know about this after he met the couple at a Miami hotel. In a statement to CNN, Falwell Jr. acknowledged the affair. I didn't know. Yeah, I saw the Ben Shapiro parody video earlier. I didn't know about this. A Miami man read that. Falwell Jr., 58, who was on leave from the school, issued a lengthy statement Sunday saying he and his family were blackmailed by the man who had, quote, inappropriate personal relationship with his wife, Becky. In his statement obtained by CNN and first reported by the Washington Examiner, Falwell Jr. said the affair led to stress, weight loss, and the feeling that he was, quote, living on a roller coaster. Falwell Jr. did not identify the man, but Giancarlo Granda told CNN he is the person who is referenced throughout Falwell's statement. In an exclusive interview with Reuters, Granda said he was 20 years old in 2012 when he met the couple while working as a pool attendant at the Fontainebleau Hotel in Miami. I made that very white when I don't think it's supposed to be said that white. In Miami, and began a relationship in the same month with Falwell Jr.'s wife, Becky. Throughout the relationship, Grandpa said Falwell Jr. Enjoyed watching from the corner room as he and Becky had sex. Ooh, no. Granda said Falwell Jr. enjoyed watching from the corner of the room. All right, hey, I'm not here to kink shame at all. Interesting, though, that a guy who literally, like, denigrates any group that doesn't adhere to strict, like, Christian moralistic teachings, evangelical stuff, is out doing this stuff. And then he has the gall to, like, speak out against, like, the LGBTQ community. It's ridiculous. However, a spokesperson for both Falwells said the claim that Jerry observed the two having sex was untrue, and pointed to a specific line in his statement where Falwell said, Becky had an inappropriate personal relationship with this person, something in which I was not involved. So he's denying that. I'd kind of believe it, though. As a person familiar with the relationship told CNN the physical relationship between Becky Falwell and Granda lasted about a year, disputing the length of the relationship as told by Granda to Reuters. When contacted Monday by CNN, Granda said via text message, quote, I've been working with an investigation team, unquote. In an apparent reference to the Reuters story, quote, the Falwells are attempting to get ahead of the story by creating a false narrative. The truth is coming soon, end quote. Granda declined to answer further questions on the record. The revelation adds new depth to Jerry Falwell Jr.'s swift and remarkable fall from grace. In June, he apologized after deleting a much-criticized tweet that showed one person in blackface and another in a KKK hood and robe. Oh no, I didn't hear about this either. Jerry Falwell apologizes for a tweet with a racist photo after a black student and alumni denounced him. Yuck. The revelation adds new depth. We read that. On August 7th, Liberty University's executive committee said they asked Falwell to take an indefinite leave of absence after he posted a photo on Instagram that showed him with his pants unzipped and his midsection visible. In the photo, Falwell is holding a cup of dark liquid and has one arm around a woman whose shorts are also unzipped. In a radio interview soon afterwards, Falwell said the woman was his wife's assistant. He said the pair were at a costume party and it was just good fun. But added he should never have posted the photo, and said, I've apologized to everybody and promised my kids I'm going to try and be a good boy from here on out. Ew, don't phrase it like that. The story is being updated. Just telling you guys, all these people who scream the loudest about, like, oh, you need to follow the Bible, you need to do this, this, and that, and all you LGBT people are wicked. They got weird stuff going on, I'm telling you. You know the phrase, me thinks he doth protest too much? That phrase exists for a reason. That's all I'm saying. Anyway. Moving on. Tate has a new video about the James Bond movies. Now, I'm not gonna lie. The only James Bond movies I've really seen is a little bit of Dr. No. I couldn't finish it. I found it boring. And the newer ones. I've seen Casino Royale and Skyfall. I haven't seen Quantum of Solace or whatever the even newer one was. So, not super familiar, but...
Yesterday it was raining. It was raining, I wanted to drive my cars, I couldn't drive my cars because obviously it was raining. It pissed me off, so I decided to design my dream Lamborghini. You people at home don't understand my struggles, you don't understand my life. But for a long time I've been sitting there thinking, do I really need to upgrade my Huracan, my Lamborghini Huracan, to the Lamborghini Huracan Evo, even though they look basically the same, and every shit muncher out here won't be able to tell the difference. I'll be able to tell the difference because I'm a Lamborghini guy. But these shit munchers, they won't be able to tell the difference. To them, a Lambo's a Lambo. I mean, okay, the Lamborghini Evo has rear wheel steering, 7 times as much downforce, 30 more horsepower, blah, blah, blah. But do I spend all this extra money for a tiny bit of performance, which I'm only going to notice at the absolute upper echelon of...
These aren't even first world problems. These are D-bag millionaire problems. These are problems that shouldn't exist. We literally shouldn't allow people like this to exist. And I don't mean that in like a threatening way. I mean that in a, if someone has so much money that they're buying multiple Lamborghinis, they have too much money and should not have that much money. They need to be taxed at a higher rate, clearly. My goodness.
Driving, and most people won't notice. But it was raining, so I decided to go in the Lamborghini configurator and configure an Evo.
There's nothing funny.
So I'm looking on the options list. It's $2,000 for a cup holder. $2,000 for a cup holder.
Ask Compu says, if his struggle is what kind of Lambo do I get, he's never struggled his entire life. Also, he can't drive because it's raining? What? I'd imagine that's twofold. Firstly, the way Tate drives, I'd imagine in the rain he doesn't get very good traction. He's talked about before how he speeds, how he goes really, really fast, even on roads he's not supposed to. So I imagine if he did that in the rain, he would die because he's an idiot who can't just drive like a reasonable human being. And secondly, in terms of rain, I'd imagine he's worried about rust on his cars, like on the undercarriage and other stuff. So he probably just doesn't want to do it. And of course he has enough money where he probably just has someone else drive him if he, you know, wants to go somewhere and it's raining out. He either gets, I would say he probably doesn't get a cab. I don't know if he has a driver that he has or whatever, but I'm sure he gets a ride somehow. He might get those. They actually, you know what? They do have in bigger cities those Ubers that are like more like town cars and they're like nice. So he might get that. Ask Compu says, why do these cars have windshield wipers if they can't survive rain? You know. And also, if the struggle is what kind of Lambo do I get? Oh, I read that one. He's never struggled in his life. Yeah.
But if that's how much a cup holder costs, that's how much a cup holder costs. I want a cup.
How did Tate get rich? Tate was a professional MMA fighter. Tate was a professional MMA fighter, and he took that money, and he got someone to manage his money, and he invested it, and made more money. He's basically a leech. He's a venture capitalist. He's a leech on society that does nothing but holds capital hostage until he can decide who to give it to, and then they actually go and work and make money. And then they owe him money for giving them the capital that he's been, you know, holding hostage.
Cup holder. So if it's 2 G's, it's 2 G's.
He also scams men into buying his program, which is like, I'm rich. Learn how to be rich from me, you know? So he has like a book and seminars and stuff, I think. If he thinks $2,000 for a cup holder is how much a cup holder costs, all the budget cars that include 2 for free must blow his chud mind.
G's. Then I'm going through the options list. I need the lifting system to go over the speed bumps, and I need the rear view camera because you can't see shit out the back of a Lamborghini. So there's all these things you kind of basically have to buy. And then there's other shit like exochromatic. What was it? Exochromatic mirrors. Exochromatic mirrors. I don't even know what the fuck that is.
Electrochromatic exterior mirrors. The electrochromatic rear view mirrors avoid the unsafe situation to be dazzled by the headlights behind, reducing automatically their... Oh, it's... I've seen stuff like this before. Basically, it reduces the glare from if someone's behind you with their brights on, so you can still see in your rear view.
So I took it off. Let me get it exactly for you, because maybe one of you at home knows what it is.
He can't even pronounce it. I know. That's my thing. Anyone who thinks that people who are wealthy are just smarter than everyone else and deserve it needs to watch a single Tate video. The guy's an idiot. This is who has all the money, people. Right? If you're wondering where all the money went, it went to people like this. Instead of you getting a raise, it went to people who do this shit. It's disgusting.
Electrochromatic exterior mirrors. So I took that shit off because that is 1,928.
Transitions lenses, but for mirrors.
So I unticked it.
Good way of explaining it.
I'm like, what kind of man buys a Lamborghini and won't tick every option? Well, am I poor? Am I peasant? Am I broke? So I had to buy one with every option. So I had to tick yes on everything. And put an extra $100,000 on top of the price just to have every single option because I'm a fucking G. I'm a G like that. I did that in real time. You can watch the video here. You can see me. We recorded me doing it in real time.
Did he seriously just tick all the boxes?
Why would I go on the configurator and look at the...
Is he seriously filming himself buying a Lamborghini? Like, Tate, we know you're rich. I don't care. No one wants to watch you buy a Lamborghini on the internet, you fucking dork. Guys, watch me buy a Lamborghini. Click, 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 I got all the options. Trust me, my life isn't empty. Just give me attention for buying a Lamborghini. What a dork.
Things. No, my Lamborghini doesn't need this. Do I look broke? I need it all. Every single box has been ticked on my Lambo.
Why all of
For
them?
chromatic exterior super mirrors.
What does that mean?
Bruh, doesn't matter what it means. It's there. It's an option. Why am I going to drive a car that doesn't have every fucking option like a peasant? I'll do it on a Ferrari right now. Step to me right now. I'll on the Ferrari configurator right now. Tick every fucking box on 812 Superfast, and I'll order that too in your fucking face.
Maybe I'm like the worst, but if I was rich, I'd buy 2 cars. One, probably a Tesla because I think it's hilarious because I hate Elon Musk, and that's a car I would buy for the meme. And 2, a DeLorean because I love Back to the Future, and those would be my cars. A Tesla and a DeLorean. And those are the 2 things I'd have. And I'd live reasonably. Because I'm not insecure, and I don't feel the need to fill, like, some void in my life with objects. It's very strange.
No, stop. You need to stop. You keep...
I'll order a Ferrari right now, 812. Every fucking option.
You need to stop
right
doing
now.
this.
Fuck with me. You think it makes a difference? You think it makes a difference to me?
We have so many.
Difference. Yeah, so I'll buy another house. Listen, you go to the driveway, I'll buy another house. I don't care. I'll buy the neighbor's house. I'll knock on the neighbor's door and say, how much for your house? I don't want to sell. I'll pay you double. So I can put all my cars in a fucking row.
This is some small penis energy right here. That's all I ever get from Tate.
One more complaint.
It's so strange.
Kick every block system. I'll buy the fucking row.
And, like, he thinks this makes him look like badass. That's what I don't get. That's the enigma with him. He thinks that this, like, overcompensation makes him look cool. He's like, look at how cool I am. I'm screaming about how rich I am. Like, dude, people who are rich and are secure in who they are don't need to go around screaming about how rich they are constantly. It's the Donald Trump problem. It's like how Donald Trump has, like, a penthouse and everything's gold, and it's just the tackiest thing ever. Like, dude, I get you're rich, but if you constantly feel the need to tell people you're rich with this ridiculous, audacious purchase, like purchasing habit, it tells me that you're trying to say, don't look at who I am as a person, look at all the things I have. It's very, very strange.
What else am I going to do? What time? It's Thursday. It's 4 o'clock. It's raining. I'm bored. So I went on the configurator and thought, let me configure my dream. Because I already have the Huracan. I thought the Huracan Evo has rear wheel steering and some more horsepower. Let me configure my dream Huracan. Oh, it's only 300,000 euro. Chump change. It's not chump change. It's chump.
What's his name? Tate. MMA fighter. No, a dude. What's Tate Speech's real name? Andrew Tate. There we go. Andrew Tate net worth. So Andrew Tate's net worth is only $1 million, but he's claiming that a $300,000 Lamborghini is nothing to him. Dude, that would be a third of your net worth. 1 million to 5 million. Let's even assume it's 5 million. That you shouldn't be buying $300,000 cars if your net worth is $5 million. Is he just like, oh my god. So for one thing, as I said, his business, he's not fighting anymore, I don't think. His business is scamming other men into buying his program and book on how to get rich. So I'm thinking, yeah, Sargon has $700,000. Does he just like rent a mansion and rent these cars or have leases on them? And then he like pretends to be this like 100 millionaire type person just in order to try and be like, I'm rich, buy my program. So he's not even really, he's rich, but he's like baby rich. You know what I mean? And he uses all his money. He's probably super leveraged in terms of like his houses. I imagine he doesn't own them outright. He must have mortgages on them, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with having mortgages. But, like, he makes it seem like he's this, like, I have, like, $500 million, and I'm going to buy a $300,000 Lamborghini, and it's nothing to me. And it's like, no. Your net worth kind of says otherwise, Tate. Like, what? Let me see if this has a different net worth. Net worth, this one says $6 million. So we're getting ranges between 1 and 6 million. This is 1 and 5. So unless he's literally like doing some sort of underground drug ring where his income isn't being reported, which could be, Tate strikes me as that kind of person, then he's pretending to be much richer than he is. I kind of love it, honestly. That explains a lot of Tate's personality.
Funny about the tools of capitalism.
This says 1 million. I know, there was a range of 1 to 5 or 1 to 6 on a lot of these. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'll say 5 million. The highest we saw was 6, but I'll say 5. If you have $5 million in net worth, do not buy a $300,000. Do not buy a $300,000 car. You can't afford it. Hawaiian shirt, thank you for following. This is where he bought his car.
Fuck you, Baltimore!
If you're dumb enough to buy a new car this weekend,
You're a big enough schmuck to come to Big Bill Hell's Cars.
Bad deals.
Cars that break down.
Thieves.
If you think you're gonna find a bargain at Big Bill,
you can kiss my ass.
It's our belief that you're such a stupid motherfucker.
You'll fall for this bullshit.
Guaranteed.
If you find a better deal,
Shove it up your ugly ass.
You heard us right.
Shove it up your ugly ass.
Bring your tray.
Bring your title.
Bring your wife.
We'll fuck her.
That's right, we'll fuck your wife.
Because at Big Bill Hell,
You're fucked 6 ways from Sunday.
take a hike
To Big Bill Hell.
home of
Oh, it's
challenge
literally
pissing.
posted
That's right,
on
challenge
VHS
pissing.
and
How does it
like,
work?
If you can
passed
piss
around.
6 feet in the air straight up and not get wet,
You get no down payment.
don't wait.
Don't delay.
I agree. You shouldn't buy a $300,000 car in any case, but if you're a wealthy person, people make stupid decisions. They're going to do what they're going to do. But especially if you only have like $1 million or $5 million, do not buy a $300,000 car. That is, you know what a $300,000 car is worth the second you drive it off the lot? $150,000. It's not an appreciating asset. You know what? In terms of, I'll even give a benefit, because a sports car like a Lamborghini, depending on the limited, if it's like a limited run, the value of the car might go up. It's possible. I don't know. I'm not a car person. So it's possible that when you get into stuff like Lamborghinis that are in smaller like runs, it's entirely possible your car will be worth more money. I don't know. That doesn't make it a good investment. If your net worth is $1 to $5 million, you're in a really good spot. You could invest for the rest of your life and never have to work a single day. Is that moral? No, but people can do it. You know, it's not illegal. I'm not going to stop you from doing it. Hawaiian shirt, thank you for following. I don't remember if I said it. But, like, don't leverage yourself out that far that you're, like, getting a car that's a third of your net worth. That's ridiculous.
Change. Print my order form. It's like 300 G's. There's 300 G's. Like, what kind of man are you?
MMO addicted with 100 bits. The super expensive cars may appreciate in value, but only if you do not drive them at all and just keep them in a climate-controlled garage. By super expensive, I mean limited runs of $1 million plus. Sure.
If you got 300 G's, just like, I configured it and it had a little graphic and it can move around. How can I not buy it?
Tate, can we see the page where you actually order this as proof? I'd love to see it. Because otherwise, I think you're just making what you think is an ad for your business to try and get people to buy your book. Right? Look, he even has a private members club. Join the war room. It only costs $1,297 to get into his private chat room. Ah! That's absurd. That's one thing you'll never see on Behind the Mask. I am not paying over £1,000 to get into his private douche chat room. I wonder if a single person has. Wouldn't it be funny to raise money to go into one of Tate's £1,000 chat rooms, and you're the only one there, and it's just you talking to Tate?
What choice do I have? I'm only fucking human, Luke. What's the difference between my current Huracan and Evo? Fuck knows.
I was about
Who cares?
to say, why have two?
Because I'm a fucking G. How many times have I said this? I tell everyone I'm a G, and they're like, "Oh, well, why do you?" I'm a G. You think I'm lying? I'm a G. That's why.
Two of the same car?
Two of the same? No, it's not the same car. That's the Huracan. That's the Huracan Evo.
30 dice on this desk. You see the dice for it. You dice, huh?
He didn't dice.
Playing cards? Luke, are there any playing cards or dice?
Honestly, wouldn't it be hilarious if Tate went bankrupt in the next 5 years because he's so irresponsible with his money? That'd be amazing.
Why did you tell him what? Do you see any playing cards?
No.
Because this ain't no game! This ain't no fucking game! Lamborghini Huracan Spider 5.2 V10 640 liter LP 644 Evo. Previous owners, 0. Vehicle price, rah. Chassis number, blah, blah, blah. Nero Noctis, it's black. Electric heated seats, smartphone interface for connected devices. Electrochromatic exterior mirrors, 900 pounds. I don't have any idea what electrochromatic exterior mirrors are. I just tick the fucking box. 900 pounds for my fucking electrochromatic.
If by G you
know
mean
fucking
garbage?
Electrochromatic mirrors? I can see everything. Rear diffuser, style package, digital audio broadcast tuner, 9VK Sensorium premium sound system, 4 Gs, ambient light program, colored stitching, NR7 embroidered branding package, rear view camera, lifting system.
Wasn't this supposed to be about the James Bond movies? We're over halfway through the video and you haven't mentioned any of the James Bond movies.
You have to have a lifting system because you can't go over speed bumps any other ways. It's like a $4,000 tax you have to pay for your Lambo. NavTrack Pro ADR. Don't know what that is. A tracker maybe? 52A 20-inch alloy wheels, graphite gray. Delivery, $3,600 to deliver. Oh wait, we're not done. Upholstery, elegant leather, bicolor, Nero Ada Bianco Polar, whatever. Big Forge composites package, 6 Gs. What the fuck is that? What is that? I'm playing with the configurator, I'm just ticking boxes.
Antipodian squid with 100 bits, chromatic. There's a T, and you're killing me by ignoring it, man. Chromatic.
Big Forge.
Hello. Cute dress.
Thank you.
Composites package.
I'm sure. Ooh, your face definitely got some sun.
No, that's from taking a shower.
Oh, just warm?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I don't even know what that is.
So, were you listening to this stream? Yeah. Do you think Tate's gonna go bankrupt?
If he keeps spending that much money on things, but it wouldn't surprise me if he's just renting, or if he just borrowed somebody's car
Sure.
for the video.
You can rent Lamborghinis. If you have $1 million, you could rent Lamborghinis and stuff to shoot your videos. It's an advertising expense.
$6,000.
Like, remember that guy? Remember on YouTube a couple years ago, there was that guy who was like, here I am in my garage with my Lamborghinis and my bookcase. Remember that? It was like an ad on every other video. That dude also rented Lamborghinis and tried to convince people to buy his get-rich-quick scheme. So, Ty Lopez. Yeah, that was the name of the guy.
Floor mats, customized with piping and stitching. Nice. Kick plate and forged composites. How much? I just ticked every option. Who goes on the Lambo configurator and ticks every box? All of them. Where do I sign?
What?
You're not allowed to buy a Tesla.
Why can't I buy a Tesla for the meme?
We're not gonna spend money for a meme.
I was saying if I were rich. If I won the lottery and I had $250 million after taxes, I will get a Tesla for the meme. Yes.
You're gonna give Elon Musk, whom we hate, our money.
Yes.
That's stupid.
I never said I was a smart person.
I'll divorce you.
We're not married yet.
I will divorce you We will be married.
Maybe I win the lottery before we're married. You gonna marry me just to divorce me?
Yeah.
Good, do it. And then in the divorce, you can get the Tesla.
You're not getting a Tesla.
You better hope I don't win the lottery. I'm gonna buy 2 Teslas, one for the meme and one out of spite.
No. No, absolutely.
Here, purchaser's signature. Boom, 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 boom. All these other dorks.
Lupine, I hate to tell you this, I don't think our sweet girl is gonna make it into college. I think her lack of ability to speak English, probably not boding well.
And lack of opposable thumbs.
Yeah, the opposable thumbs thing is also pretty big, yeah.
It would
On
still
Twitter.
be a better investment than a Tesla.
Hey, I don't disagree with you on that.
What a Tesla Model 2. I put a $400 to put your fucking geeks. Who the fuck drives a Tesla? There's no man alive.
He was just making fun of Teslas.
Oh. Does that mean that we have to like Teslas now?
No. Lex the Bear, thank you for following. Daddy Sume with 10 bits. Do not discriminate against her disability, lack of thumbs. That will not stop her. We'll see. Oh, you want to see some cute pictures, chat, of Lupine? Here she is, preparing for Tinfoil Tuesday.
Live in a Tesla I couldn't kick the living fuck out of. I will drag you from your Tesla by your neck in front of your bitch, and you won't do nothing. And I'll get back in my Lamborghini fucking fully spec Evo. Step to me. Do you see any playing cards for you?
There's no
I mean, if you'd like to take a nap, go for it.
playing cards anyway.
Do you know why?
Is it because it's not a fucking game?
It's not a fucking game!
He dislikes Tesla for a completely different reason. They don't make big loud noises that compensate for small size of the thing between his legs. True.
So then I'm sitting there.
I like that Tate shows that and wants us to assume he actually bought that $300,000 car with no evidence. We didn't even see the forms, much less him actually sending the forms to, like, an actual dealership or to Lamborghini, whatever their corporate address you send stuff like that is to. He just printed off random paper. We didn't even see him clicking stuff on the actual website. He's just making it up.
And then I'm checking my emails, being a G, and I got these offers from Vice News and a few other people. We want to come out and film your life, Tate. And I'm trying to explain that there's already been movies made about my life. There's already been movies made about my life, and I say this completely unironically, without humor. I genuinely mean this. Watch...
What movie has been made about your life?
Casino Royale, or watch one of the...
What did you say?
There have already been movies made about my life. Go watch the James Bond films. Hey, Tate, look. James Bond is actually intelligent, and women want to be around him because he's charming. Neither of which applies to you.
Daniel Craig James Bond movies. That is actually my life.
Uh-huh.
When I watch these movies, I'm like, yeah, that's me. He doesn't fuck a bitch because he wants to fuck a bitch. He fucks a bitch to get information. He's pimping these hoes. He's driving Aston Martins. He walks in the room, everybody's intimidated. He can fight.
Hello,
He's
chat.
got unlimited cash. He does what he wants. He goes where he wants. That is me. How is that not my life? I've been living this life for so long, and there's still people out there going, no, it's not. Yeah, it actually is. I just got back to Romania now. I was traveling all of Europe in a supercar. I was in London. I went from London to Paris, went to Disneyland, went down to south of France, Grenoble. I think I stopped in the Alps for a little bit. Then I went down to Monte Carlo. From Monte Carlo, I went to the Italian Alps. Then I went to Milan. From Milan, I went up to Munich. The police took my car for driving at 300 kilometers an hour, crushed my Ferrari, no problem. Got a train to Prague, get out of Western Europe, get to Eastern Europe.
Daddy Sumo with 10 bits. He is so desperate to convince himself his life isn't empty. I know, it's kind of sad. And he just said the police crushed one of his, like, Ferraris or something because he was going 300 kilometers an hour. Like, this dude is gonna go bankrupt, right? There's no way someone this... How do I put this? Who treats his money this frivolously, who treats his life this frivolously, there's zero chance he makes it to old age and continues to be this rich. One way or another, this story's gonna end tragically.
In Europe, had a truck pick up cars from here, 3 cars away from me in Prague. Got in those cars, went to Vienna. And
that's true. I have made a grave error by assuming that that's something that that is even something that happened. He might just be lying.
I went to Budapest, back to Bucharest. Just took a month out driving across the continent like a G. During COVID, during lockdown, no travel restrictions, fuck you. And to start the whole thing, I got from here to London to start the whole drive.
Hush Browns, thanks for following. Welcome to the stream.
Gee, how is my life not a James Bond movie? My life is absolutely a James Bond movie. Fucked a new bitch in Milan, fucked a new bitch in Vienna. And I'm not talking about, like, you know, hooker club bullshit like you dorks or meet her on Tinder. No, I just walked into Cavalli Club Milan. Walked into Cavalli Club, took the best table, went up to her, hello, hi, boom, boom, boom. Anyway, we've diverted because the point of this Tate speech isn't to tell you that my life is basically a James Bond movie, even though it is a James Bond movie. And I don't want you to think I'm exaggerating because that is genuinely actually my life. And the point of this video was not to tell you that I bought a Lamborghini with every single option because I was bored because it was raining. When I say my life's a James
There's no evidence you actually did that, Tate. Like, not everyone who watches your videos is so stupid that they're gonna just believe you just because you say you did something.
James Bond movie, there's actually one key component that makes my life more James Bond than everything else. Lots of people have cars, lots of people can, you know, go around, travel, go to clubs, all these kind of things. But there's something very, very important that you'll notice James Bond does. And what James Bond does is he manipulates his relationship with women for his own personal gain. And this is extremely important. This is B trying to stab me during my Tate speech. Pussy ass B. This is extremely important because in the world we live in now, women exploit men. This is what women do. Women get in a relationship with a man and they may love him, but they still exploit it for their personal gain. James Bond is the last character that you can find
most
on
relationships.
any kind of popular, any kind of movie, anywhere in Hollywood, anywhere, that uses women. Oh, he pretends he loves them and he finds out what he needs to do.
There's nothing funny about
James
Major Dub, thanks for continuing our subscription. 2-month streak. Even actual chuds are more appealing than this douchebag. Also, keep doing your thing, Hannah. Thank you.
Bond has reversed the game. And once they kill that from James Bond, which is happening very soon along with the wokeness of Hollywood, there'll be one man left who does exactly that. And that's me.
Jeez. Tate is such a caricature of himself. Like, like, if I were writing a parody of Tate, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it! He's already a parody of himself. It's so weird. It's like Trump syndrome. Like, you couldn't do a parody of Trump because he's already cartoonish, right? It's very strange. Anyway. What's next? I got this guy. Thank you to King Jader02. Welcome. Isn't that the best kind of parody? I guess. Arcana Stamber Blackwell says, okay, if I was independently wealthy, I would just fulfill my anti-work dreams. I'd just slow down and enjoy some time with my family, maybe travel, pay off student loans, help people out, and pursue my writing. These kinds of people are just squandering their privilege, yeah. Very silly. Have I seen his video on sibling relationships? No. Yikes. Who else do we have that we could look at? I don't know who this guy is, but someone must have sent him to me at some point because he's in my Chud folder. Terrence have a new video? Yikes, not doing that. I am really not feeling Terrence today. I don't know why.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capital.
MMO Addicted with 100 bits. Arch Warhammer is a shitty Warhammer guy who is an anti-Semitic, misogynistic shit stain and gives the hobby and community a bad name. Oh, that's a shame. Maybe we'll try him. Let's try him. Let me find that again. Arch. Sort by most popular, maybe? I mean, a lot of these are lore videos. I don't know anything about 40k lore. Like, I believe you if you say he's a bad dude, but how am I gonna parse this, right? Unless I have a specific video. Because these are all related to the actual game that I know nothing about. He had to change his name from Arch Warhammer because Warhammer made him. That's funny.
Greetings and salutations, friends, and welcome to the Bad Decisions place. Yes, indeed. We're going to have to...
Oh, he's the DM for Sargon's Nazi vampire game? Yikes.
Enter into this meal for patriots a little bit lesser than we had actually hopefully intended. I bought a Cerberus class thinking that I could easily equip it with guns and bring it with.
Here's a comparison of buying power in Milwaukee versus Tate's current city. Let's see. A meal that costs $13 in Milwaukee is $7 in Bucharest. A McMeal at McDonald's is $8 in Milwaukee. And oh, so Tate's also living in an area of the world where it's very cheap to live, probably because that's where he can make his dollar or pounds or whatever go further. That would make sense, I guess. That's probably why he has such nice property there, because it's way, way cheaper.
With me until I realized that I didn't actually have it.
Here's an Arch Chud video. Thank you. Diversity in 40k, just no. Jeez. Again, let me reiterate, I don't know anything about this universe. I don't know anything about Warhammer. So I'm not going to discuss the lore stuff. Tombstone Official also has a video. Oops. Maybe we'll do that one later.
Greetings and salutations, friends. Today it's time for a political video on the main channel, as it is of course related to Warhammer 40k. Games Workshop and me on representation. Oh, goody good. It's been a while since I've seen a piece on race realism, so I'm looking forward to this one. It's been a tough week for those signed up to Games Workshop fan forums. There's been a lot of angry comments flying about. Some I directed at the company for its latest Age of Shitmar release, but there's been sniping at one another too. Most notably on the subject of Games Workshop and representation.
Yeah, what's his second channel? That might be more easy for me to do, considering it sounds like he does just politics on a separate channel. Let me see if his other channel is linked. Channels. Pixelated Apollo, A Border Prince. One of these is probably his, right?
Oh my...
No, that's someone else.
To be informed.
Ugh, I don't know. I'll try and figure it out another day.
Conversation that drew a flurry of vehement responses before being stopped by the group's mods began with a mild question. Is it a problem that there are very few people of color...
Oh, here's his other channel, The Lodge. Most recent is from 2 years ago, but still, it might be worth checking out sometime, some of his older stuff. Put him under Chuds. There we go. Oh god, did it click me off the other video? Frustrating.
Is it a problem that there are very few people of color represented in Games Workshop? The 18 answers submitted were variants on, no, there doesn't need to be more, and that's a stupid question. Sounds like a pretty reasonable answer to me because, well, 1.
Why?
Yes, there does not require to be any more, and 2, yeah, that is a pretty stupid question.
Why? If there are people in this universe, I assume human beings exist in this 40k universe, there might be others as well, but if there are humans, why wouldn't there be, like, people of color? What?
Variants that contained a lot more words beginning with F, the mods quickly shut the conversation down before it became too cancerous. The speed and vehemency with which the original poster was closed down gave me pause for thought. I'm sure it did. There's clearly something going on here that needs examining. Yes, there is, but I don't think it's what you think it is. First, there's the issue of the representation of people of color in the Warhammer world, but then there are the reactions of the game's players. Right. Stop you right there. Let me explain why you get this vehement response. The reason why people will literally jump down your throat and attempt to tear your head off if you pose such a silly question is because that very same silly question has been posed so many fucking times at this point. You are literally the annoying kid in the rear seat going, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? That is you at this point. We have had this in TVs, movies.
There's a lot of eugenic stuff in Warhammer 40k, so maybe he thinks there's no people of color in Warhammer 40k.
Movies, comics, in gaming, in music. We have this for politics. We have this in every single sphere of everyday life. We're race realists, just like you. Robin?
Yeah, dude, there's people of color in most media forms, because most media forms, even if they're fantasy, reflect some ways on reality. And there are people of all different creeds and colors in the world. So if you have a universe where it's all white people, you need to provide an explanation for why it's all white people. Otherwise, it's like, well, how did that happen? That's not how things work in the real world. So you would need to explain that. And if you're gonna have some explanation as to why your world is all pasty white people full of caucasity, I'm gonna guess the explanation is gonna be yikesy. Just gonna guess.
Are telling us that we should hire people based entirely upon the pigmentation of their skin.
Oh my god.
For reasons that you cannot adequately ascribe. So yeah, no, stupid question, and moving on. Before I dig into this, I have to lay my cards on the table, or maybe show my dice. I'm a white middle... Oh my god. Are we doing this? Are we actually doing this? Fine, okay. Let's move on. Let's go on with the fucking cucking before we even get to the argument, shall we? I am a white, middle-class British male. I have never suffered through not being represented. Oh, the struggle is real. I can therefore only imagine what it must be like not to see yourself reflected in the media and popular culture of the day. I say this to acknowledge that in writing this piece, I may inadvertently say something condescending or misinformed. If I do, dear superior black Ubermensch, feel free to chastise my poor...
How has this guy's channel not been deleted? This guy's awful.
White ass for my ignorance on the important subjects of black people in culture and ebonics. I have already bent over and presented my ass. Please feel free to take advantage of me in my moment of weakness. That's pretty much what it says. Is there enough representation of minority groups on the Warhammer tabletop? The short answer to this question is no, alright? I would immediately follow up with a question. How much is enough? What do you want? 50%? 40%? 30%? 72%? 100%? Where would you be willing to say, this is enough, and just shut up? Because we both know that we're never gonna get there. We have tried appeasing your race.
We gave you Black Panther and Blade, which was 20 years earlier. You really think that's a reasonable amount of movies starring a black cast? Really?
Realist.
And there was one black guy in the new Star Wars movies. Those are your examples? Really?
Sexist, feminist, all kinds of these crazy monkeys. We have tried that. It doesn't work. You simply just move the goalpost. We tried this with women first. They started bitching about how there wasn't enough women in leadership positions. So we literally quoted women into leadership positions. Did that make them shut up? Of course not. This will be absolutely no different, will it? If it was, you would be able to give me a hard figure here. But you can't, can you? The original question was posted in a Warhammer 40k form, but I think the answer applies to both 40k and Age of Disappointment.
50% would make sense in terms of gender, because it's about 50-50. There's actually slightly more women than there are men, but 50-50 I think most people would find to be reasonable, considering it's about that.
If you look at the miniature range, then nearly all of the humanoid ones are white. A lot of them are armored with face-covering helmets. Did you just assume their sexuality, gender, and/or identity there, did you? That's
the one joke! They did the one joke.
Not very nice of you, is it?
Here's this video if you want to report it, by the way. This guy's an absolute asshole. Like, he's not even really going mask on with this. He's just, like, has disdain. Here's the video link.
But those that aren't are huge Caucasian brutes, often with blonde buzz cuts. Now, I'd like to point out that, no, literally 0% of them are white. They are all grey, but I'm sure we'll get into the fact that you could literally paint the figures pink if you want later on. If you combine this with the mandate of mankind in Warhammer 40k being to kill everything that's different from them, things start to become troubling. Alright. I could launch into a 20-minute diatribe right now, explaining why this makes sense for humanity in Warhammer 40k. Why this is a necessity to maintain human life in 40k. In an extremely hostile galaxy. A galaxy where, by the way, pretty much every single Xeno species also tries to do the exact same thing as the humans, e.g. kill everything that's different from them.
Okay, but that's a difference based on actual species, not arbitrary phenotypical traits like skin color. That's the line that's being drawn. They're human supremacists. That doesn't make them white supremacists.
But if you know 40k, you already know all of that. The only reason why you would pretend otherwise is if either A, you don't know 40k, or B, you have an agenda to push. On this case, I'm going to be generous and assume B.
People in chat are telling me that there are species in 40k that aren't even like that.
Moving on, if you take a look at the Astra Militarum, the most human and fleshy of the 40k range, you'll see a host of miniatures that draw on historical references. But all those models are white. That is probably due to the historical references that you just mentioned. Oh, and by the way, all those models are...
1 second. Right-wing Federation. Save this to my Chud thing. Libertarian. Okay. Chuds. Oh, that's the same one.
Hello people, how's it going?
Okay. Alright, I'm picking a different video because I don't know enough about 40K. I know this guy's like a racist POS. I agree. Again, here's the link in chat if you want to report him, although this video's from 2017, so I don't know how much good it's gonna do. But, yeah. Can't discuss a series reasonably that I haven't seen. Or played, rather. Alright.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
40K, says Daddy Sue. Anyway, here's another Tate speech video. This one's on brother and sister relationships.
Brother-sister relationships are weird. Now, I have a sister. My sister and I, we don't really talk. We don't talk.
That's because you're awful, Tate. That's not typical. Most siblings, even if they don't get along, probably talk to each other, right? You're an awful person. Of course your sister doesn't want to talk to you. You treat women terribly. I guarantee you treated her like crap growing up.
Because she goes to feminist rallies and believes Trump's a racist.
He is? He is.
I know. How
There's
can
nothing
Andrew
funny
take
about
a
the
low
tools
IQ
of capitalism.
But it's been proven that the first child is always the smartest.
No. Statistically, I think they found that that's true, but that doesn't mean that it's always the case. They're talking about on average.
He's like the third. Who gives a fuck about the third or anything? Like, you can name a first...
It's as loud as I can make it, guys.
A gold medalist. Maybe a silver medalist. Oh, he's a bronze medalist. Who gives a fuck? Who cares? Number 3. That's why she doesn't know shit. She lives in America, and she's not very smart. I do love her, but...
Tate saying that anyone else isn't very smart is like rain on your wedding day. It's ironic.
Arguing with her.
There's nothing funny about the tools of
MMO addicted with 100 bits. I mean, my brother literally thinks someone should be shot if they're unemployed for more than a year, and I meet with him sometimes, and he is the first son, so there may be something to it. You might want to just not talk to him. He sounds like an absolute nightmare.
Her points are baseless, and she's low IQ. And I believe in general, a brother and a sister relationship, you can get along with your sister, you can talk to your sister, but when I see brothers and sisters who are really close, it's super weird. So me and my brother were obviously extremely close. If you know...
I'm an only child, so I can't speak to, like, how sibling relationships are. I know Baha and her brother get along really well. I hear them talking sometimes. They have a really good relationship. But, like, if you have a sibling and you get along and you, like, understand each other and love each other, that's great. That's awesome. Good for you. That's not weird. That's ideal.
Either of us, you know that every single day we're together. We do not go anywhere without each other. We have one bank account. We work together, train together, live together. It's going to be that way for the rest of our lives. If my girlfriend said, choose between me and your brother, before she finished the sentence, I would slap that bitch so hard in her face.
Yikes. That's great. Talking about abusing your spouse, theoretically, good job. MMO addicted, or your girlfriend, with 100 bits. Issue is, he's the one person who kept me from being kicked out and disowned me when some of my family discovered I'm pan. Oh.
Never even asked me again. I don't care if my brother fucks my girl. I don't care if he crashes my car. I don't care if he sets my house on fire. He is my brother. For life. But with a sister, when I see people who are like, yeah, I'm really close. When I usually girls, I mean. Oh, and I live with my brother. To me, that's instantly just weird. It's like, isn't your brother, like, fucking girls and shit? Like, when you're...
Okay. You're both adult people. I'm sure you understand that your sibling is a human being who has relationships and probably gets intimate with the people they're in relationships with. It's not like you're banging it out in front of each other in the living room. You have rooms, even if you're sharing an apartment.
Sleep in bed, listening to your brother pound vag. Or, what if I'm gonna fuck you? I'm gonna come around your house, say hi to your brother, and mash your pussy up. What's your brother gonna do?
There's nothing funny
He's
about
gonna get too fresh, because I am perfectly capable
Oh boy, Antipodian Squid with 200 bits. Not slapping the people in your life is self-care as well as care of others. Spread love, not slaps. Daddy Sume with 10 bits. Ew, my family having sex is icky.
Coming in you, getting up, shaking it off, getting awake, and then whooping his ass. It's just strange. The dynamic is strange.
Why?
I've noticed every single time the brother and sister is really close, the brother is like a weakling. It's never like a big G. Like if you're a big G and you want to look out for your sister, fine. But you don't like live with your sister. You're not best friends with your sister. You don't go for walks in the park with your sister. It's just...
God, Tate is the most insecure human being on the planet. Completely unable to recognize anyone who's different than himself. People who have siblings of the opposite gender who you get along with. It's such a foreign concept to him that he has to, like, ascribe this weird negative connotation. It's so bizarre.
Slap, 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 clap, 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 slap, 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 clap, clap, clap.
Weird. I'm saying this because very recently I was dating a girl. She's like, me and my brother are best friends. What are you talking about?
Oh, that makes sense. He can't see women as anything but sex objects, so he assumes other people must too. That would explain a lot, actually. True.
I have nothing to talk to women about besides either sleeping with them or... wait. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that is his problem, it seems. He legitimately cannot view a woman as anything other than a sex object, and he can't have sex with his sister, obviously, so he has no purpose for her. To him, she's worthless, because she is a woman that he cannot and does not want to sleep with. That's sick, Tate. What is wrong with you?
I'm talking to you eventually so we fuck. Or we fuck so I continue to talk to you so we can fuck again. I have no interest in talking about anything else. Oh, tell me what happened in Vampire Diaries today. Like, what does a brother and sister sit and talk about? How can you have the same interests as a woman? I say this all the time. Women always try and give me a hard time about it just before I have sex with them, because I always do in the end. What do you mean you don't have the same interests as a woman? I'm not interested in the same things women are interested in. We don't need common interests to go out. We don't need it. You're interested in things I do not. You like makeup. I think it's, I don't care. I just want you to look good, with or without makeup, however you pull it off. It's not my thing. You like bullshit TV series. I'm a kickboxing world champion with a Lambo. You don't care about my horsepower on my car. And you don't care about...
What? Are you saying that it's, like, gay to like TV shows? That's a weird flex. And also, I'm sure there are plenty of women who are into cars and sports cars.
Kickboxing. I don't care about Vampire Diaries and fucking lip gloss. It's weird. So when I was like, oh, me and my brother went for dinner, we had such a good chat. What did you talk about? Because I cannot think of the last time I sat across the dinner table with a woman and I wasn't doing anything other than laying down game. If you're just sitting there, oh, so how's mom? Yeah. How's dad? Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. I can't wait till we go back to the same apartment. I can listen to you get plowed by Big Daddy Tate. Weird. In the description below, you'll see a link to CobraTate.com. This website...
Jesus. Tate is just the worst human being in the world.
There's nothing funny about the tools.
So ridiculous. Antipodian Squid with 100 bits. Guys, is it gay to play Mortal Kombat and Mario Kart with my girl and eat popcorn? Tate reminds you of Darius M. J. Arini, don't know who that is. Stefan Molyneux, Paul Alam, don't know who that is. Black Pigeon Speaks, Elliot Roger, and Roosh V. Do you think the same way? I mean, in the sense that he, like, views certain other people as less than human and people that he just can't get along with. I get what you're saying. Ugh. Ridiculous.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Stephen J. Neptune Man with 15 bits. How does he explain marriage if he thinks men and women can't have anything in common? I think he just views that as a transactional relationship. I think he just thinks people get married because it would give the man in the relationship consistent sex and the woman would get, like, someone to provide for them. I imagine that's his view on marriage. He doesn't understand that people get married, at least nowadays, because they, like, love each other and enjoy spending time together. Okay, here's this guy. This video is entitled, Women Wanting Sex is Bizarre to Me. Kinda telling on yourself there, but alright.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Oops. Ask Compu. I don't think he's capable of understanding the concept of love. Yeah.
So, recently, a new song came out by the name of WAP.
Why are these chuds, Ben Shapiro, Sargon, this guy, why do they care about this song so much? It's funny. It's catchy. It's got a funny video with it. What is the obsession with this song? Like, did they not hear Anaconda when it came out? Have they not heard any hip-hop songs ever that are about, like, sex or genitalia or any other secondary sexual characteristic? Have you heard the song I Like Big Butts by Sir Mix-a-Lot? Have you heard that song? This is not a new concept, people.
Who are uninitiated, WAP is an acronym that stands for Wet Expletive Donkey's Rear, or perhaps a human's rear.
What? Donkey's rear? No. It's about vag. What are you talking about?
Female sexual reproductive organs. It's basically when a woman's nether regions become drenched with lubrication and anticipation for sexual intercourse. Just wanted to say that one, just in case some of you didn't understand and didn't quite pick up on what a WAP was. So, so Ben Shapiro made a response to WAP, and I was greatly disappointed in him. So I decided I'll talk about it, and more than that, talk about something else that really has been on my mind for a while, but I had really no reason to pontificate upon it until now, right? Because now is a good time, because now we have this song WAP that directly, you know, correlates or addresses the thing that has been greatly confusing to me. You know, so let's start with the thing that's been greatly confusing to me, and then we'll talk about WAP. We'll get there. Don't worry. So something that's always kind of been a little off to me, especially recently, because I started watching TikTok, you know, whenever I have like a couple of minutes to spare. And this is one thing that's been really bizarre to me.
Stone Corbell with 10 bits. Do these right-wingers think they're like Victorian gentlemen who can't say these dreadful words like ass and pussy? I don't understand. Yeah, I don't know.
And it's interesting that
it could also be a YouTube thing. YouTube doesn't like when you use the dirty words, so it could be that.
I noticed this on TikTok, or I noticed how bizarre this was when I started watching TikTok. But it never really was bizarre to me just in general, despite the fact that I've done the Attention Whore Chronicles and the fact that I've talked about thoughty behavior on the internet. But this is the one time it really irked me. I say irked, but I mean, you know. Well, allow me to fix the camera first. So, the thing that's been greatly confusing to me, and I'm just going to come right out and say it, you know, there's no reason for a great preamble or anything like that, is women expressing sexual interest. And now, I know that sounds off, right? Because, like, I'm here, you know, like, you are there. Like, we exist. So, like, how is it strange or peculiar that that I would be confused by
oh my god, get to the point!
Women expressing sexual interest, right? That sounds off. That sounds, dare I would say, a little stupid.
Yes, why would women not express sexual interest? Human beings who aren't asexual express sexual interest, especially in art. Like, what? Why is this weird to you?
But just hear me out. Just hear me out. Just listen to me, okay? It's gonna make more sense as I talk, I hope. Just hear me out, okay? Because here's the thing. Like I said, it's not that I'm just so... Oh, let me just start...
Oh my god, get to the point! What? We're 3 minutes in and you've said nothing!
I've never, you know, had my penis licked with a woman's vagina juice before, right? Like, I've never done that before.
Let's go back to the instant replay, shall we?
Had my penis, and I'm just so... Oh, let me just start off with this. Like, I've never, you know, had my penis licked with a woman's vagina juice before, right?
Okay, so he's a virgin, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with being a virgin. That's a weird way to put that. But okay.
Like, I've never done that before. So my perspective may be worthless. I'm a worthless male in the eyes of many people.
Okay, you're not a worthless human being because you're a virgin. However, if you've never engaged in sexual activity, it's possible that whatever opinions you're going to have on said activity are going to be uninformed. So I don't know what you're about to say, but I think it's very possible it's going to come from a place of ignorance and also a place of weird, like, MGTOW, incel BS, right? It's not going to come from a place of informed personal understanding of how sexual relationships work, but from, like, forum posts you've read on 4chan or Reddit, right? Which is not a great place to get information about these things.
Unfortunately, because, you know, a woman has never selected me for sexual intercourse. So, just so you guys know, you know, I'm meaningless. I don't mean anything. I'm also very ugly.
That's right,
okay, so take my opinion with a grain.
Lizuka 8003, thank you for following. Welcome to the stream.
Of salt, because apparently the only thing that registers you as a man is having your penis licked with vagina juice. I don't know what it is about the vagina juice that levels you up. Maybe it's a huge XP pack. I don't know. I'm a virgin, okay? So, take this with a grain of salt. But this is something that's just always been really strange to me, okay? Because I've spent a huge portion of my existence, you know, listening to women, like, earnestly. And what they say they want, oftentimes, ain't really what they respond to. Now, of course, I've pontificated upon why this be the case, you know, for years now. But that's not really what I want to focus on, okay? Because the thing is, while I intellectually can understand that what women say they want isn't really what they respond to very well.
What? This guy knows how to, like, pad out. I guarantee this guy was ace at when you had, like, writing assignments in school and you had to pad it out to a certain word count. This dude must be the best at that. Because he sure can take up a lot of breath and use up all the air in the room, saying absolutely nothing. We're 4.5 minutes in and I have 2 pieces of information. 1, he is a virgin, which is fine, I don't care. And 2nd, he thinks that women say they want certain things, but really they don't want those things. Which isn't, in my experience, that is not the case.
I just kind of want people to just kind of accept the fact that that's very counterintuitive to just how human beings operate. That's just counterintuitive to how we be. You know, when you see stop, you don't think go, right?
Speaking of a way and describing sex that is creepy is a good way to repel anyone from having sex with you, yeah.
Or to reverse the message of something, right? And even then, even when operating with a woman, it's not really even correct to say, like, women like toxic traits. It would be more accurate to say is women cost-benefit analysis, or they cost-benefit analyze.
Dude, you've never been in a relationship. Why do you think you have some sort of big brain understanding of what women want? You clearly don't. Why would you assume, then, that you have the authority to speak on what you think women actually want?
That's right.
Because you've read incel forums? That's a horrible place to get information. It's a great place to get misinformation, but it's a terrible place to get anything resembling actual knowledge. Victor Necrofunk, thank you for following. Welcome to the stream.
And the benefits outweighs the cost.
And thank you,
'cause they're
Throws
stupid,
a Hammer,
basically,
for
right?
following.
The benefit of a higher social status, or the benefit of getting one of these high...
Yeah, right. That's the thing, too. He's not even bad looking. He's convinced himself his looks are at fault instead of his shitty beliefs, right? He's not bad looking. Like, maybe he could get a different, like, hairstyle or something and maybe trim the beard. And this is just based on, like, my personal preferences. Obviously, everyone's is going to be different. But, like, his hair looks a little unkempt and so does his beard. If he cleaned it up a little bit, like, he'd be an attractive dude, right? Just we're talking physical, right? So, it's clear that the reason he hasn't been able to get into a relationship with someone isn't because of his looks. It's because of his personality. This is the same guy, by the way, who defended a pedophile in a video we did a while back. That's probably also part of it. He's like, actually, it's not pedophilia, it's ephebophilia. This is that same guy.
High status males outweighs the cost of having to compete with multiple different women. You know, now, despite the fact that these Muppets never realized that when you give males so many different options and availabilities, that what that should do is force you to be better, except they don't. They still are stuck on this idea that they just have to show up, but, you know, that's another video for another time. You can see, you know, dear viewer, that I can intellectualize this very, very well. It's not even difficult for me to logically think about this thing, you know. But the thing is, despite the fact that my logical brain can analyze and understand and register this stuff, seeing women express sexual interest is still a very, very strange and bizarre thing to me, because I think in the back of my mind, you know, in the core of my subconscious, I've been trained to believe that women don't like sex. And that's mostly because
That's probably due to the fact the media for a long time has always shied away from showing women enjoying their own sexuality, and you get tropes in the media of like, oh, the woman putting up with sex from her husband. These are tropes, and these come from a very unhealthy attitude about sex and an unhealthy attitude towards women in general, right? We live in the modern day, though, and luckily depictions of people having healthy relationships with their sexuality is more of a thing, but you're probably focusing on, like, I don't know, a sitcom from, like, the 80s or 90s where the husband's like, I want to have the sex, and the wife's like, okay, as if it's a chore. In fairness, in the past, maybe it was a chore. I don't know how frequent finding the clitoris was in the past, so...
years, women have always had a very, very negative response and negative opinion of sex. Now, every now and again...
No! People who have made media depicting women have depicted it that way. That doesn't mean women felt that way. Or if they did feel that way, it probably had to do with the fact that their husbands would do no foreplay, would stick it in for 2 minutes of dry rabbit humping, and then stop, and they get nothing out of it, of course, other than, like, potential pain if there's no foreplay involved. Like, this has nothing to do with women just not wanting to have sex. It has to do with people not understanding female sexuality. And it has to do with the media not understanding that the reason certain women might be standoffish in regard to sex is not because, like, they just don't like it, but because men, on the whole, in the past, not all of the past, of course, but I'm talking, like, let's say, reserved conservative America, bad at sex, because they didn't want to do the foreplay. It's what we call the Ben Shapiro.
Again, you know, there'll be some women, like, I mean, I guess, like, to Chad, like, this just wouldn't be the case. It just wouldn't be true because he's sexually successful. But to men who...
This is what I don't get either, right? Like, this dude thinks that only Chads get laid. Do I... Like, for one thing, this dude's not going to see me as a woman. I'm trans, right? But he's not going to see me as a woman. Does he think I am a Chad with my soft features, long scraggly hair, and, you know, all that stuff. Because I've gotten laid. You know what I mean? Like, it's not difficult. You just have to be like a decent human being and wind up in relationships with people you care about, and it's fine. Like, what? What? Or, like, here's a better example, since this person's a dude. Jake. Would this guy look at Jake and think Jake is a Chad? Because Jake... Fuck it, I'll say it. Because Jake fucks. Jake has had, in the time I've known him for about 10 years. How many girlfriends have I known him to have? 1, 2, 3, 4, like five or something girlfriends, and those are only the ones I know about. It's possible I don't know what people he's, like, dated or hooked up with prior to me knowing him. But, like, Jake is fully capable of getting into relationships and hookups with people. And that's because Jake has a personality that other people like. Jake is capable of having conversations with people, getting them interested. Like, he's a charming guy. He can be abrasive sometimes, but who can't? But, like, he's a charming guy. But he's not a Chad, as incels would put it, right? So, how do they explain people like Jake when their entire worldview is about thinking that you need to look a certain way or be a certain way in order to hook up with people? It's so weird.
Unfortunately, give a shit about women and, like, you know, care about them.
Oh, I didn't even see your message, Baha. Hold on, I'll go look up. You can get laid tonight if you want. Good to know. Saving this for later for purposes. Oh, God. Fuck it, I'll say it. 'Cause Jake fucks. Fuck it, I'll say it. True. True.
Idolized men. I mean, sorry, women. You know, and even just, you know, just kind of regular guys who are just trying to date. Like, you know, the consensus for lots of women as far as their sexual experiences with males go is oftentimes hilariously negative. It's hilariously downtrodden.
Kind of depends on the person they're talking about. If that's the case, then it's because that dude was bad at sex. Like, it's pretty simple. He probably wasn't an attentive partner. Probably doesn't understand what gets ladies going. I think there was a study, and it shows that a relatively small amount of women are able to climax only from PIV sexual encounters, right? Usually you need to throw in other stuff. I'm trying not to get demonetized by YouTube, even though, of course, this video is a dumb thing to try and not get demonetized. But if you're an adult who has had the relations, you know what I mean. You can't just stick it in and, like, hump for, you know, however long and expect that to do the job. You gotta use your hands, and you gotta eat the box. Just saying.
It's no contest. It's ridiculous. Multiple women constantly complain about how they've had bad sex. I mean, female comedians always have the obligatory bad sex joke, which again, excuse me, is peculiar to me as to how many women can have bad sex. Mostly because all they really have to do is just kind of show up and then just let the man's enthusiasm take control. And I feel like if sex is an act that takes, you know, two people to work together, you know, the woman can say something or she can be an active participant as well. And I mean, if you're picking dudes constantly who just are just bad at having sex, I find it that you can just have a conversation about it. And if you can't converse about the sex you enjoy having, you probably shouldn't be having sex with that person. But and if you the woman can say sex isn't show up, and the woman can have bad sex joke, which again, excuse me, is peculiar to me as to how many women can have bad sex. Mostly because all they really have to do is just kind of show up and then just let the man's enthusiasm take control.
What? Wow, Chad. Thanks for sticking it in dry and then pounding me quick for a minute and a half. That was great. You're nailing it. Thanks, bud.
And I feel like if sex is an act that takes, you know, two people to work together, you know, the woman can say something or she can be an active participant as well. And I mean, if you're picking dudes constantly who just are just bad at having sex, I find it that you can just have a conversation about it. And if you can't converse about the sex you enjoy having, you probably shouldn't be having sex with that person. But again, I digress. It's just interesting. But the point being is that they, you know, you have that, you know, that meme, or you have that consistent through line of women complaining about males sexually and not being able to orgasm, which again is a peculiar thing to me. I would imagine that if a woman really cared too much about orgasming, she would make some conscious effort to obtain it, but you know.
The way he talks about this is so bizarre. Oh my god. I can picture Ben Shapiro saying this. Actually, if a woman were intent on having a climax, wouldn't you take efforts to ensure that it would happen? Yeah, that's a ton of fun, right? Like, hey, communication is key. I agree. But if you're hooking up with someone, let's say, that you've never talked or you've never met prior to that day or whatever, which isn't even the majority of sexual encounters, but for the sake of this, let's talk about that. It's entirely possible you're gonna just, like, go with it. It'd be good to communicate, but, like, if the dude sucks and doesn't care to do foreplay or to pay attention to, like, the clitoris area. Again, I'm trying not to get demonetized, but that's a lost cause at this point. Like, what are you gonna do at the end of the day, right? You're probably gonna wait for him to leave, and then you're gonna pull out your vibrator or whatever, you know?
But of course, again, the intellectualizing there would be that very many women more want men to come pre-programmed. You know, women are very passive creatures. You know, they don't like confrontation usually, especially white women. They're not fans of having to be upfront and expressing themselves. You know, when it comes to the things they desire to men, they'll do it to other females, but for men, for some reason, it's just, you know, I don't know why, but they don't.
It's almost like women know that if you tell the wrong dude that he's doing something wrong, they're gonna beat the crap out of you. Weird.
They want men to just know, and they just want men to do. They want to be led. They want to follow. And I think that's probably, you know, the maladaption of that. The maladaption of their passivity I'm referring to, or their maladaption of them wanting to be led. Like, it comes to a certain point where you being the first mate, you're going to have to say something to the captain to help him make better decisions. Like, that's your role as a woman. Like, you may want to be led, you may want to be a follower, but like the leader is a human. Like, your male is a human. He's gonna make mistakes. He needs help. And women, they don't respect that. You know, that can be, that they can do that they can help men improve sexually. That's just one thing I wanted to pontificate upon, because there's just really no other natural way to put it. I've seen women complain so much about this. And it just
this is the
mind.
pedo
But again, that's my
teacher
point.
guy.
They complain so much about this, right? And then I've seen, but you know, seeing this constant through line of just, and then here's another thing that gets me, just, you know, to add on to where my confusion comes from, right? There's so many times I hear women say that they've been used, right? Or some guy used them for sex. And I remember growing up, I didn't want to be a guy like that, you know? I wanted to be a guy that respected women, not for their bodies, not for their vaginas, but for who they were as people. And I genuinely invested large emotional stock into women as people, and I really cared about that. I really was friends with them.
If you genuinely view women as people, you don't see, like, I've invested a large amount of emotional stock in seeing women as people. What? Do you also invest a large amount of emotional stock in viewing men as people, or is it just automatic for you because you view men as people and you don't view women as people? I think you've missed the point. You're not supposed to try and force yourself to see women as people. You're just supposed to realize they are people with their own thoughts and feelings as individuals, just like men.
took what they said into consideration. Like, really, like, genuinely. I'm not even... Of course, the whole nice guy thing is a meme and everything, but I genuinely, like, cared about these women and, like, listened to them and, like, and talked to them as, like, people and tried to learn about them as people.
Okay, but, like, you don't get points for that. That's the bare minimum. That's the bare minimum you should do with anyone. Even people you're not trying to sleep with. What?
Of course, I have been unsuccessful in maintaining any long-term relationship with a woman, despite the fact that I had respected them so much. And I say respect in quotation marks, mostly because I know people, like, treat it as a meme, but, like, I genuinely, like, I cared about these people deeply, and it kind of sucks that I have to say it like that, but I didn't want to be some guy who just had sex with a woman and left. You know, I wanted to be someone that actually, you know, had something meaningful with them, and someone that, like, you know, could grow and, like, have a family with at some point eventually. And so through that, I would, like, almost next to never even allude to, like, sex or sexuality with women. But I'll tell you one thing, dude. The one time, and like, every time I talked to a girl, I tried to be friends with her, right? And this was all, you know, predicated upon the fact that they always were talking about how guys were using them for sex, how guys were pigs, how guys, they only wanted to have sex, guys just wanted to use them. And so I wanted to be different. I wanted to be better for the women in my life, right? And not just the women in my life, but, you know, women I wanted to date and whatnot. And I listened to them, and I did everything they asked. And we all know how that turned out. But the thing is, it's interesting, right? Because the moment I stopped doing that, there's the one time I got a girlfriend was the one time I tried to talk to a woman with the pure interest in just having sex with her and, like, never talking to her again. It wasn't right, and I know it wasn't right, but I didn't care. That my ex-girlfriend did it for me. And it's interesting, like, she responded a lot better when I was just trying to bang her and I didn't care than when I did care and I wanted to.
Okay, I can't deal with any more of this guy. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm gonna call it. We've been going for 3 hours, 37 minutes. We're gonna raid Bad Bunny. So thank you everyone for coming to the stream. I really, really appreciate it. I hope that you are having a wonderful evening. I hope you continue to do so. I hope all of your dreams come true. There's an ad. I hope everything goes good for you. Chat is valid. I gotta hit this button so it happens. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy Bad Bunny's stream. I hope it goes well. Have a wonderful evening, chat. You're all valid. See you tomorrow for Tinfoil Tuesday.
Billions and billions and billions and billions and billions.